I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, Meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Hey, pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in 1310 WDPN, streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com. It is the Sam Bourquin Show, day 4. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Glad you've joined us here on the program. We got a lot to get into today. We'll talk about what's going on with Bill Belichick. Near tragedy last night at PNC Park and with the Pittsburgh Pirates. LeBron, Luka, Lakers, adios. High school baseball, we got a big 2-game set coming up beginning tomorrow between the Alliance Aviators and the Marlington Dukes. We're going to be chatting with Marlington head baseball coach Cody Jones coming up here in the early 5 o'clock hour. Reached out to Coach Graffis from Alliance and trying to get Coach on here this afternoon as well. Lines are open. 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. And you can also text us at 330-536-1146. Sammy B here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. If you're watching us on the Q92 YouTube channel, you will notice a very clean, pristine AM 1310 WDPN banner behind me in studio today. We moved a couple of things around, and we think it looks pretty awesome. So make sure you check that out today as you're watching us on the Q92 YouTube channel. Also, 1310 WDPN stream on X on the WDPN Facebook page. By the way, I want to send out a ton of thank yous to all of you who have liked and followed the DPN 1310 WDPN Facebook page. We cracked 1,000 earlier today, and I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for following along. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you like and let us know you're out there. Check us out on the Facebook page, 1310 WDPN. We cracked 1,000 about 2 or 3 hours ago, and we're very thankful and delighted, and we want to keep those numbers rocking and rolling. Also, check us out on X2, AM 1310 WDPN. All right, so we got lots. Oh, by the way, before we go any further, I wanted to update you on the Guardians as they were playing an afternoon game today up in Cleveland, and Mother Nature got them, and she still got them. All right, we're in a rain delay in Cleveland. It is 2-0 Guardians, and that ball game is I believe it's in the 4th or 5th inning. So we'll keep you in touch there with what's going on when they get back to action. We'll continue to update those ball games for you. Also, it's a Thursday, which means one thing. It's a 3-question Thursday. We've put those questions out on all the social media platforms today, on Facebook, on X. Check them out. Look at them. Comment, or you can bust off a phone call at 330-821-1310. Here are today's questions for the 3-question Thursday. Got a couple good ones today and a fun one. Question number 1, Cavs Pacers. Who wins? How many games? Cavs Pacers. Who wins the series? And how many games? Question 2, Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Who's the odd man out? Once September rolls around, who's the odd man out of the Cleveland Browns quarterback room? Could it be? It won't be Shador. No way, right? Could be. 5th-round pick. Could be Flacco. Could be Pickett. Could be Gabriel. But who is the odd man out of the Cleveland Browns quarterback room? That's question number 2 on the 3-question Thursday. Question number 3, especially for you local baseball fans. Where's the best place in Stark County to watch a high school baseball game? I want you to think about that for a minute. In Stark County, where is the best place to watch a high school baseball game? 330-821-1310. And, of course, you can comment on the text 330-536-1146, the WDPN text line. Again, Guardians, Twins, rain delay, 2-0 Guardians when the rains hit up in Cleveland. All right, let's get to some of the comments on the 3-question Thursday. Lee says Cavs in 5. Flacco will be the odd man out. Joe Gilhousen Field at Glen Oak. He says that's the best place to watch a little high school baseball. Ryan Brayler, my man, checking in today. He says Cavs in 6. He says quarterback depth chart will be Flacco, Gabriel, Pickett. So he thinks Sanders is going to be the odd man out. Best place to watch high school baseball, he says, down at Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. Those are just a few of the comments. We'll be going through a lot more of those today here. It's a 3-question Thursday on the Sam Bourquin Show. So I don't know if a lot of you followed last night. The Pittsburgh Pirates were in action at PNC Park. By the way, in my opinion, the most beautiful Major League Baseball park. Hands down, we've been to 9 of them, and so far, to me, it's no contest. That is the most spectacular place to go watch a Major League Baseball game. So the Pirates are playing the Cubs. Pittsburgh wins the game 4-3. They rallied for 2 in the bottom of the 7th. But during that rally, McCutchen hits a 2-run double. While he is running around the bases, a fan in right center field, it appears to me, jumps from the upper tier and goes to the ground. Folks, that's like a 25-foot jump. And the video is kind of disturbing. I know a lot of you've seen it because it was such a it was taken from such a far angle away. You really didn't get to see like the really bad part of it, which is probably good. But I kept going back and watching it over and over and over. And I'm trying to think, did he just kind of get out of his seat? You know, you get out of your seat when your guy hits a home run or a double, people get excited. You know, McCutchen hits one, or he'd run around the bases. Pirates are trying to come back and win the game. I didn't know if he just got up too quickly, may have lost his balance, and fell. So I went back, I watched it a couple more times. Then I looked, and I said, you know what? I think this guy jumped. I think he jumped on purpose. I was like, no. Let's go back and watch that again. And if you want to see that video, it's on my X page at Sam Bourquin 16, Sam Bourquin 16 on X. Go back a couple of posts and you'll see it. There's no audio; it's just video. And again, it's kind of shot from far away. I think the camera angle was taken behind home plate, and this was out in the dead right center field. Excuse me. So this morning, I'm looking at it again, trying to figure out, did this guy want to jump? Or did he just lose his balance? Did he have a few too many Iron City Lights? I don't know. But man alive, the latest that I know, I haven't seen anything since. They took him off on a stretcher, and they took him to the hospital, and I don't know what's going on there. But that was a scary, scary looking fall last night in Pittsburgh. And again, the video, it is what it is. It's pretty telling, but it's taken back far away that it's not going to disturb you as much as if the camera would have been right there. But the reaction last night, I mean, picture this. You're at PNC Park. Pirates are battling the Cubs. Cubs got the upper hand all night. Pittsburgh rallies for 2 in the 7th. McCutchen gets a double. They're running around the bases. So the fans are going crazy. They haven't had a lot to cheer about in Pittsburgh this year. And all of a sudden, here comes this body falling from the upper deck. And just think about that. Fans are going crazy. Players are going nuts. We're going to take the lead. And in the middle of all this, whether you were fixated on that particular, see, that's the thing. How many people were looking up into the right center field bleachers while McCutcheon gets this double and 2-run score? I mean, probably not a lot of people. All right, you're watching the batter, you're watching the runner, you're watching the fielders. You're not paying attention to what's going on way away up in the bleachers, especially. But then they showed another angle of the Pittsburgh Pirate dugout. And you could tell that there was audio on this, and the announcers were pointing out, look at the Pittsburgh players in the dugout. About 5 seconds into the video, all of a sudden they stand up in disbelief, and they're pointing to the bleachers in right center field. They're saying, look, go help that guy. He needs help. We got an emergency. Well, they're in the dugout on the third base side. This happened all the way out in right center field. But the shock on their face, and everybody got up at once, and they're pointing, help, 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 help. And this is all going on during a run-scoring double. I mean, that's one of those wild things. You hope you never see that. But I forget who, I don't know if they necessarily coined this phrase. It's not really a phrase. It was Herb Score. The late, great Herb Score, who did the play-by-play for the Cleveland Indians for decades. And I think he told this to Tom Hamilton, because Hammy would repeat it during some broadcast and interviews. He says, when you go to a Major League Baseball ballpark, you might see something that you've never, ever seen before and might never see again. And gosh, when you hear something like that, you're like, oh, well, must be talking about a no-hitter, a perfect game, a walk-off inside the park home run, which we saw up in Cleveland several years ago. You might see somebody strike out 20 batters, a la Kerry Wood with the Cubs back in the 90s. You don't think that during a run-scoring double, somebody is going to leap from the upper deck at a baseball stadium. That's just not on your bingo card. So you hope that the gentleman is okay. Again, we don't know if he jumped. We don't know if he slipped and fell, lost his bat. We don't know. It's hard to see. Again, if you want to check out that video, it's everywhere. But if you want to go check it out, at Sam Bourquin 16 on X. But hopefully, that gentleman's going to be okay. Guardians and the Twins, by the way, are back in action up in Cleveland. So Mother Nature in, Mother Nature out. And as soon as I checked the scoreboard, I noticed a 1 for the Minnesota Twins. So, nope, now they just took it away. Now they're saying delayed again. My phone must be playing tricks. So it looks like it's still 2-0 Guardians. No, 2-1. They're back in action. It's 2-1 Cleveland in the top of the 7th at Progressive Field up in Cleveland, and we will keep you up to date. By the way, the Guards, after today, of course, it's a getaway Thursday. They are going to be heading north of the border to battle the Toronto Blue Jays coming up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, 3-question Thursday. Questions today. Question 1, Cavs-Pacers series. Who wins? How many games? Question 2, Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Who is going to be the odd man out? And question 3, who has the best baseball park, baseball stadium in the Stark County to watch high school baseball? Where's the best place to check a high school baseball game out? 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can also text us at 330-536-1146. Let's see here. Okay, just making sure we're all set with our interview with Coach Cody Jones from Marlington. He's going to be coming on at 5:10 this afternoon. Again, Marlington Alliance, a big 2-game series in the EBC coming up. And boy, good thing they're not trying to play today, because we've had some crazy weather, and we may have some more crazy weather coming up here in the next hour and a half or 2 hours. By the way, Alliance 11-5 on the year. I've got Marlington 10-5. Dukes are 6-1 in the conference, and the Aviators, as of last night, I had them at 4-2. So big series between a couple of rivals, right? That's why we want to have the coaches on, and we'll be talking to Coach Cody Jones of the Marlington Dukes coming up here at about 5:10 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. So I don't know how many of you have been following the Bill Belichick saga. and his very, 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 very young girlfriend. There are people in the media now, whether it's Stephen A. Smith, whether it's Charles Barkley, whether it's people, kind of close to Bill, some people in North Carolina, maybe some old friends from the New England Patriots. They're starting to worry about him a little bit. There are some folks, and I'm kind of one of them, that thinks that maybe there's just something, and I'm not going to say this is weird because I'm not going to get into people's personal relationships, and I know there's almost 40 plus years age gap between Bill and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. But you've seen the videos. You've seen the photos. I mean, when did you ever think Bill Belichick would be plastered all over Instagram and Facebook and X, TikTok? And there he is. And I can't help but think, this is not Bill. And I know a lot of you watched the interview a couple of nights ago. And Bill Belichick is sitting there in his Naval Academy t-shirt. It's got holes in it. But you could see the girlfriend off camera kind of sitting over at a chair at a desk by a wall. So she's in the vicinity. And if you watch that interview, she would interrupt and break in like 4 or 5 or 6 different times. And one of the questions was by the interviewer, Bill, how did you guys meet? And you can hear her from the corner, oh, we're not talking about that. Okay, well, I guess that question got shut down. I guess she stopped the interview 5 or 6 times. What is going on here? She follows him everywhere. When he first went to North Carolina and they were doing the spring practice, she was right by his side, almost organizing the activities during the practices at Chapel Hill. And I'm thinking of the old Bill Belichick when he was with the Cleveland Browns. He would scoff at any media member. He would just give you that rude, don't bother me look. I'm busy. And then he got to the Patriots, and it was the same thing. The whole getup with the cut-off sleeves on the hoodie, almost like the Darth Vader, the Yoda look with the hood over his head, kind of peering out, looking at you. Again, didn't really care for the media, didn't answer questions directly, 2-3-word answers, and he'd move on. And now all of a sudden, it looks like she's just kind of taken over everything that he does. And again, I'm not saying this because, let's talk about their relationship. Isn't this ridiculous that he's almost 50 years older? Well, maybe. But there's just something off here. Something weird. I can't quite put my finger on it. But especially after that question was not answered and she jumped in and said, we're not going to talk about that. Why wouldn't you talk about how you met? Isn't that I don't know, the springboard to the relationship kind of thing? You're out with your girlfriend, you're out with your wife, you're out with somebody you've been on a 4 or 5 dates with, you run into some friends. What usually comes up in the conversation? Hey, how did you guys meet? Does the other half step in and go, oh, we're not going to talk about that. We're not talking about that. We're not answering that question. No, that's weird. It's just weird. Something's going on. And again, some of the, Charles Barkley the other day, he says, I'm worried about Bill. He says, I'm thinking about calling him to make sure he's okay. TMZ has been reporting some rather bizarre things. And look, when you used to hear the letters TMZ years ago, you laughed and said, oh, that's a joke. Not anymore. TMZ is pretty sharp. They find ways to get their information, and they're usually spot on. But there's just something a little weird about that relationship with Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. It doesn't make sense. Here is a guy who is a control guy, right? The way he runs the ship, the way he runs practices, the way he runs games, the way he runs meetings. It's Bill's way or the highway. And it just looks off. Anybody else feel that way, or am I completely reading something into nothing here? It just feels like there's something off. There's something wrong there. But again, I can't put my finger on it. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, oh, by the way, this guy is leading a Division I NCAA power football program, the North Carolina Tar Heels, and they are expecting big things. And they got some cash in that collective. They were able to bring some people in from the transfer portal, guys transferring in, able to go out and maybe match offers where guys were going to go to another school, and they said, hey, come on down to North Carolina. And there's Bill, and there's the girlfriend. Walk up and down the football field on a beautiful sunny day, and it just looks a little bizarre. Would love to get your thoughts on that. Also want to hear from you on our 3-question Thursday quiz. Question 1, Cavs-Pacers series prediction. Who wins? How many games? Come September, the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Who's the odd man out? Question 3, where's the best place to watch a high school baseball game here in Stark County? 821-1310. You can also text us at 330-536-1136. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a Thursday on 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. President Trump is making changes to his cabinet. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has details.
President Trump announcing on social media that Mike Waltz is no longer his national security advisor, and he will now be nominating him to serve as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. The move comes as President Trump has been increasingly frustrated by Waltz after Waltz came under intense scrutiny for inadvertently adding a reporter to a Signal group chat. Waltz needs Senate confirmation to serve as UN ambassador. President Trump said in the interim, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will add National Security Advisor to his portfolio. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
A federal judge has barred the Trump administration from deporting any Venezuelans from South Texas under an 18th century wartime law and say Trump's invocation of that law was unlawful. Judge Fernando Rodriguez is the first judge to rule that the Alien Enemies Act cannot be used against people whom the administration claims are gang members invading the U.S. In March, President Trump issued a proclamation claiming that the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua was invading the U.S. He said he had special powers to deport immigrants identified by his administration as gang members without the usual court proceedings. At least 2 people have been killed in flash flooding in Oklahoma with strong storms pushing through the region. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Z says more storms are expected today.
Today, the elevated risk of flash flooding still centers itself right along the Red River and Pittsburgh. That's because this low pressure system and the attending warm and cold fronts approach. So everyone from Nashville to Lexington up through Columbus, Ohio, and Cincinnati, Toledo too, you are on alert for damaging winds.
A new Pentagon report says that the number of sexual assaults reported across the military fell by nearly 4% last year, and there was a significant decline in the Army. It's the second year in a row with a decrease. That reverses a troubling trend that's plagued the Defense Department for more than a decade. There were nearly 8,200 reported sexual assaults last year involving members of the military, compared with more than 8,500 the previous year. Defense officials say that while the decline is a good sign, the number of reported assaults are still too high, and the military needs to do more to get victims to report the often undisclosed crime. It's 79 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance area weather forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Thundery weather on and off during the afternoon and early evening hours today. Some of those storms could be severe. Look for a high, windy 79 degrees. Overnight, more widely scattered lingering storms with a low of 60. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Are you ready to movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz for a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home. Military personnel are returning home with specialized skills. Hire smart, hire a vet. This message courtesy of Wisman's Apex Tree Service in New Franklin, where they're specializing in residential and commercial tree removal, proper pruning, and tree maintenance. Check out their Facebook page and visit them online at apextreeohio.com or call 330-807-8398. 330-807-8398 for Aaron Wisman and his crew at Wisman's Apex Tree Service, reminding everyone to hire smart, hire a vet.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Back on 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over the world at AM 1310 WDPN.com. Sam Bourquin here, my producer Ryan Rainsberg across the glass. And, when we started the show, we got a 3-question Thursday. We'll be going over those. We got a couple more comments in on Facebook, on X, and on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We'll be reading those to you here in just a couple of minutes. By the way, Guardians and Twins 2-2 now in the bottom of the 7th up in Cleveland. How about this? Minnesota, 2 runs on 10 hits today. The Guardians, 2 runs on 2 hits. But it's all square, 2-2, bottom of the 7th. We'll keep you updated here on the show. So, the Bill Belichick girlfriend thing. And Ryan and I were kind of chatting during the break, and I kind of want to bring him in here a little bit. I mean, what's your take on that? Bill's in his early 70s, mid-70s almost. She's 24. That's a little weird. But the Bill Belichick that we think we know, or the one that has been portrayed to us over the television set, at the press conferences, in the stadiums, radio interviews, something just seems off. And I'm kind of like with Charles Barkley here a little bit. Right? I wonder if everything's okay.
Well,
I wonder if everything's okay.
I mean, that's understandable. I'm not familiar with the situation, but from hearing what you said, it definitely sounds to be a little suspect, at least.
I mean, was it I don't like commenting, and I guess I am, so shame on me, on somebody's personal relationship. But I'm not the only one. Everybody's out there doing it.
Yeah, no, that's the
and it doesn't make it right, but whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
the world we live in.
Exactly.
But I feel like something's amiss. Something is off here. And I kind of wonder if, I don't know, does Bill got it all together? I mean, is something going on there? I mean, the whole age gap thing to me is crazy.
Definitely.
It's crazy. Now, Bill, very well off financially. I don't know what Miss Hudson's financials are. Again, she's 24 years old. I know she's trying to build a real estate empire, and apparently she is well on her way. Since the last month or so, she's accumulated a lot of wealth since it kind of got out that she was dating Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I want to know how it goes and how it ends.
Ooh.
I just have to wonder, again, some of the stuff that I've been hearing through sources, and one of them I'm not going to say on the air. I told you off of there, I'm not going to say what some are saying, but there's some pretty prominent people that are worried for him. And again, here's a guy taking over this North Carolina football program. after being a head football coach with the Patriots and winning all those Super Bowls with Tom Brady and under the ownership of Robert Kraft, and then they had their separation, I guess I would call it. And then all of a sudden you start hearing these whispers that Bill Belichick interviewed to be the head football coach at North Carolina. And I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. Bill Belichick, multi-Super Bowls, maybe one of the top 3 coaches all time in the National Football League. And this guy has to go interview for a job at a college? That just struck me as kind of weird.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick should be holding his own. He should be interviewing them. Okay?
Absolutely, yes.
Bill should be interviewing North Carolina, not the other way around. So they go through the interview process. They had a list of candidates, and before you know it, boom, there's the announcement. Bill Belichick is the new head coach at North Carolina. And I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be kind of different, kind of cool. A lot of different layers to it. So Bill goes down to Chapel Hill, and the cameras start to follow him around, and they're doing some videos on TikTok, Facebook, X, and with the Carolina blue, and he's got the Carolina swag on, and he's talking to the players, and then they're doing spring drills and getting ready for the spring game, and all of a sudden now you see the girlfriend, you see the cameras, the cell phones, and then the stuff's getting posted. I mean, in a million years, did you ever think you would see Bill Belichick balancing a 24-year-old on the beach? She's doing all these crazy, wild stretches, and he's just kind of pushing her up there. It's out there for the world to see. He doesn't mind it, I guess. Then they had a couple of videos at Chapel Hill one day on the football field, the practice inside Kenan Stadium. Beautiful place to watch football, by the way. And she's got this long, trench coat on and these white high boots and this Carolina blue, shirt. And she's got like a clipboard and a pen. And if you didn't know any better, you'd think she was running the practice. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, this needs to stop right now. What is going on here? She's taking over. And then the interview on national television and having to shut the interview down several times because she didn't like the questions that were being fired at Bill Belichick. Just, I don't know, man. I hope everything is okay. I just don't. Or is everybody just hey, are there 72, 73, 74-year-old men out there going, man, Bill, how did you pull that? Maybe they're jealous. Maybe they're mad. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I'm sure there's the female perspective of it. What is she doing with a guy almost 50 years older than her? What could they possibly have in common?
Oh.
What was the attraction?
I could give
was
you
it
a lot,
was it money?
Not the female perspective.
Yeah, and everybody wanted an answer to that question. How did you meet? And she shut it down. She just shut it down. So that was it. So maybe we'll never find out. But I think there's a lot to this saga, and I think it's I've got a feeling that this thing is going to be. I think this thing's going to be in the news for quite a while. I really do. So we'll see. I can't wait for the first football game. I got to check out North Carolina's football schedule. I got to check that out and see. First game, who's it against? It's going to be on national TV. And you got to believe she's going to be there, and just the camera shots and the cutaways. And, oh, man, I don't know. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can text the show, 330-536-1146. Of course, it's a Thursday as we kick off our 3-question Thursday. Question number 1, Cavs Pacers series prediction. What's your prediction? And how many games does the series go? Question 2, Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Come September, who's the odd man out? And question 3, Where's the best place to watch high school baseball? Here in Stark County. Got to grab a couple of calls here. In the meantime, Larry says Cavs in another sweep. Okay, Larry. He says Joe Flacco is going to be the odd man out. And he says, I have no idea the best place to watch high school baseball. Okay. Well, Larry, I appreciate you chiming in. Patrick says Cavs in 5. Kenny Pickett will be the odd man out. And he's not sure, but he'd probably go with Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. David Justice. Is this the David Justice? Cavaliers in 6. He says Shedeur Sanders is the odd man out. And he says Jackson has the best high school baseball stadium in the county. And let's go to my guy, Nick Sofer. He says Cavs in 6. It better be Pickett. Just tank. If he's a starter or backup, he would say Munson for baseball, but also likes Louisville, Hoover, and Jackson as well. 330-821-1310. Let's go to the phones. You are – nope. Okay, I thought we had a caller there, didn't we? We do. Here we go. Oh, we do. They're calling back. Real quick here, Jim McCracken says Cavaliers in 6. Kenny Pickett will be the odd man out. Glen Oak, his favorite place to watch high school baseball. Joe Moore, hope you're doing well, Joe, says Cavs in 5. Kenny Pickett, the odd man out. High school place, best place to watch high school is Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. So we're getting some good reaction on all their social media platforms. And meanwhile, you can continue listening and watching the show on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel as we're up, and check out that beautiful WDPN banner right behind me right here. It is pretty slick. All right, let's go to the phones at 821-1310. You're on with the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon. Who we got? Hello, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Buck from Louisville.
Hey, Buck, what's up?
Hey, about the Belichick issue.
Yeah.
One of two things. By either getting dementia or he's got a side effect from Viagra. You're going to the wrong. The blood pressure's going to the wrong head.
Oh my gosh. All right, Buck. I appreciate the call. Thank you. Lord knows where that conversation was going. Dementia. Gosh, I hope not. And the blue pill thing, I can't speak on that. I don't know if Bill's into that or not. Maybe he is. Maybe she tells him he has to be. I don't know. Holy smokes. 3-question Thursday. Pam Deffenbauer says Cavaliers in 6. Okay. She says Dylan Gabriel is going to be the odd man out. Her favorite place to watch high school baseball in Stark County is Thurman Munson Stadium and Jackson. Jason Johnson on the Facebook page says Cavs in 5. Kenny Pickett will be the odd man out, and he says Louisville is the best place to watch high school baseball in the county. That's your 3-question Thursdays today. So you can give us a holler on Facebook, social media platforms, 821-1310, or text us 330-566-536-1146. Top of the 8th inning, the Twins got a little stirring going on up at the Progressive Field in Cleveland. It is the Guardians 2 and the Twins 2. Minnesota's got a runner on second base in the top of the 8th and 1 out and a 3-2 count. So we'll keep you posted there. Joey Cantillo on the mound right now for Cleveland, and Jonah Bride is at the plate for Minnesota. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Good afternoon. Who we got?
We got Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy. How are you, bud?
Doing well, sir. Hey, first question would be, I think it'll be Cavs in 6.
Okay.
And what was the second question?
Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Who's going to be the odd quarterback out at the beginning of the season?
Oh, I think it'll be Pickett.
You think it'll be Pickett? Wow. Okay, we're getting. We got a lot of people saying Pickett. We've got a lot of people saying Flacco. Sanders got a vote, and the kid from Oregon got a couple of votes. But yeah, Pickett and Flacco are kind of leading the way.
Sure. Well, the thing with Sanders is, to me, that's more of an attention getter.
Yep.
Just because, so that brings a lot of attention, regardless if you're winning, losing, whatever the case is. But I think that's why Sanders will be around at least for a year or two. And see if he does get to play, and then I'll be curious to see how he does develop and how that goes with him.
And
with the other guy too.
Yeah. Did you happen to see, Jimmy? I heard this morning, and I saw it online, that Shedeur Sanders already is the number 3 selling jersey in the NFL.
Well, see,
that just blows my mind.
Yeah, hasn't been to a practice yet. Hasn't played a preseason game. Hasn't done anything. And that's my point. Just because of the name and his dad and all that, it's just something to sell more jerseys and to bring attention to what basically to me has been pretty bad football for a long time. But it's just something else to bring attention. Like you say, get him. If he does make the team and something happens that he does get to play a few games, start some games, it's an attention getter that, like you say, get him on some nationally televised games, maybe get him a couple of Monday night games or something. That
that's
kind of
why
thing. But
I think that's why Jimmy Haslam got in there and said, "Hey, we're going to take Shedeur Sanders because we need some more attention. We need to sell some more jerseys and sell some more tickets."
Well, and the thing is with me there again, you've got your loyal, faithful Browns fans that it doesn't, good, bad, ugly, whatever, still buy the products and stuff.
Oh yeah,
to that point, and I get that. That's fine, but no, I've never been to a Stark County baseball game.
How about Summit County? You're up Akron, right? What place do you like to go watch baseball up there?
Well, you know what? To be honest, I mean, it's an older ballpark now. I mean, and I know they do some high school games and stuff there now. It's Canal Park.
Oh yeah, Canal Park's. Well, they host the OHSCA State Baseball Championships now the last several years, and they do a great job. And that's a beautiful park, man. I love going up there to watch baseball.
And like you're saying, it's it's a nice place, even though it's the AA Rubber Ducks. But I mean, like you say, they do some other things there as well. So it's just it's nice that it can get used for that as well. So and not just leave it sit and whatever to just for you can get some other good usage out of it.
Oh yeah. Hey, the more events you can get in a ballpark, the better for everybody involved. Jimmy, I appreciate the call. Take care up in Akron. All right.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Here you go. 330-821-1310 is the telephone number. That's 330-821-1310. You can also text the show at 330-536-1146.
Got a text over here, Sam, that says the girlfriend is in charge. Not sure what's going on.
I would happen to agree. I think, I think that's what's going on.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this thing plays out. All right, we are coming up on 9 minutes until the top of the hour. Good time to step out. You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show. Keep the calls coming. Keep the texts coming. It's a Thursday afternoon. Good to be with you. 1310 WDPN, streaming live all over the world. AM 1310, WDPN.com.
Of all the ways to get ahead in life, we're one of them. And we're legal. The John Tesh Radio Show.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room.
You're just trying to be better. We're just trying to help. The John Tesh Radio Show.
Join me for music and intelligence for your life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
It's intelligence for your life.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks? Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking? Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A. absent. Julio M. absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs like food, transportation, and healthcare.
Olivia H. absent. Preston L. absent.
But site coordinators from communities and schools connect kids to the resources they need so they show up prepared and ready to learn.
Jacob O. present.
Visit communitiesandschools.org. Being present matters.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Back on 1310 WDPN. Phone lines are open for you today, 330-821-1310. You can text the Sam Bourquin Show, also at 330-536-1146. Well, we're back in a rain delay up in Cleveland. Eighth inning, Twins and the Guardians, 2-2. 2-2. By the way, Minnesota 13. They're 5 games under 500. I wasn't aware of that. They are 13-18, and the Guards came in today with the record of 17-13. After today, the Clevelanders will be heading up north of the border to take on the Blue Jays Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the revamped and renovated Rogers Center. We were up there. Our family went to the Rogers Center. No, it was probably 3 years ago. And I had never, ever been inside of a dome stadium before. And it was really different. We were talking about the Bill Belichick and his girlfriend relationship thing weird. Watching baseball inside is weird. And I'm really not a big fan. Last year we went to one of the stadiums. We went to, I think it's the Home Depot Park or Lone Depot Park where the Marlins play down in Miami. We watched the Guardians and the Marlins last year, and they had the roof closed. And I'm like, gosh, we're in Florida. It's nighttime in Miami. Open the roof. Let's enjoy the outdoors. Nope. They had that baby shut, and there was no way they were going to open it. And I'm still having issues enjoying baseball that's in an enclosed building. Now, don't get me wrong. The Rogers Center, a.k.a. the Sky Dome, it's a beautiful place. And they've done a lot of renovations the last couple of years. They still got the big hotels and the big glass out there behind center field. They put a lot of fan-friendly areas in the ballpark. Really clean, but I was hoping the roof would be open the day we were there, and it wasn't. And then the Marlins Stadium, they had the roof closed as well. But just kind of wanted to share that as we continue our tour of baseball stadiums, our family. We're going to be going to Houston here at the end of July, down to what used to be called Minute Maid Park. I don't know what they call it now. And I'm hoping, of course, at the end of July, what's going to be about 110 in Houston? They'll probably have the roof closed again. So I'll be 0 for 3. I'll be 0 for 3 trying to watch baseball outdoors in a stadium that I've never been to. So you've got that there. But yeah, I know a lot of folks that, I don't know when this kind of became a thing, but to tour stadiums. And it's mostly Major League Baseball. I know a lot of folks, shouldn't say a lot. I know some that tour the different minor league ballparks all across the country. But it seems to be, it's just a baseball thing. Like all NBA arenas pretty much are the same, except the one out in LA that the Clippers just built, their owner, Steve Ballmer. It was like a $15 gazillion arena, into the Intuit Dome, they call it, in LA. Looks a lot different on TV than most of the NBA arenas, they're the same. You got the first level, you got maybe a club level, then you've got an upper deck, so to speak. They're basically all the same. Football stadiums, it depends kind of what you're looking for. Again, the whole dome thing, I hate watching football indoors. Had my second experience with that last year. We were out in Vegas to watch the Browns and Raiders. It was like 107 degrees outside. Maybe it's best that we were indoors that day, but it just felt weird watching a game indoors. The first dome stadium for football that I've ever been in, I actually announced a football game in it, believe it or not. But it was Maslin and North Central from Indianapolis at the old Hoosier Dome. And I was doing play-by-play for the game that night. And you want to talk about weird, never being in an enclosed stadium before and doing a play-by-play for a high school game. It was different. But that was my first time ever being inside of a dome stadium. All right, we're going to take a break. We got the news. We got the weather, all the good things that you come to get here on 1310 WDPN. When we come back, hour number 2 of the Sam Bourquin Show, the 3-question Thursday quiz continues. We'll see if the Guardians and Twins are going to start playing baseball again. They're in a rain delay up in Cleveland, and we got a lot more coming your way. Stay with us, everybody. 1310 WDPN, streaming live at AM 1310, WDPN.com.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Mike Walls is out as National Security Advisor. President Trump announced today he'll nominate Walls to serve as U.S. Ambassador to the UN.
The move comes as President Trump has been increasingly frustrated by Waltz after Waltz came under intense scrutiny for inadvertently adding a reporter to a Signal group chat. Waltz needs Senate confirmation to serve as UN Ambassador. President Trump said in the interim, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will add National Security Advisor to his portfolio. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Authorities in central Illinois say the driver of that car that ran through an after-school building in the town of Chatham may have had a medical emergency and was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol. 3 children and a teen were killed. No decision has been made on whether to file charges. Jobless claims soared last week, reflecting recent cutbacks and economic uncertainty. 18,000 more Americans filing for first-time unemployment benefits than the week before. This is ABC News.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 5/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store single line activation on qualifying plan. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 7 p.m. this evening for an area including Stark, Carroll, Columbiana, Mahoning, Portage, Summit, and Tuscarawas counties. The National Weather Service says thunderstorms are likely this afternoon and evening. A few could be severe and contain damaging wind gusts. They cannot rule out an embedded tornado or two and isolated instances of large hail. The complete forecast with Mark Johnson is on the way. Crews continue to work to repair outages caused by thunderstorms that moved across eastern Ohio Tuesday. AEP says nearly 1,800 customers are without service in Jefferson County as of 2:30 this afternoon. Nearly 300 in Columbiana, more than 500 in Tuscarawas, and more than 1,300 in Harrison. Most of First Energy's outages are in western Pennsylvania, where nearly 91,000 customers are in the dark, and the West Virginia Panhandle, where the total is almost 5,000. A man accused in a drive-by shooting in Alliance has been formally charged with the crime. 19-year-old Aiden Muhammad of Alliance was indicted Wednesday by the Stark County Grand Jury on charges of felonious assault, improperly discharging a firearm into a habitation or a school safety zone, and having weapons while under disability. His arraignment is scheduled tomorrow in Common Pleas Court. Muhammad allegedly was driving a car when he shot at least 4 times at an occupied home in the first block of East Ely Street February 7th. He was not permitted to have a gun due to a felonious assault conviction last year. Muhammad was arrested last month at a hotel in Greene. The Canton Regional Crash Team is investigating an incident in which a North Canton City vehicle struck a pedestrian Tuesday morning. It happened around 9:45 at the intersection of 7th Street Northeast and North Main Street. According to police, a preliminary probe shows the city vehicle was westbound on 7th and making a left turn onto North Main when it struck the pedestrian. The victim was transported to a local hospital. They were transferred to another hospital for additional treatment. Their condition was not available. The city of Canton is expanding its territory. Stark County Commissioners Wednesday acknowledged the city's April 22nd filing of a petition for an expedited Type 2 annexation. It concerns 85 acres along Trump Avenue and Orchard View Drive Southeast in Canton Township. It does not require a public hearing. If no objection is filed by the city or township within 25 days of filing, commissioners will approve the annexation at their next regular meeting. The board also agreed to advertise for bids for the rehabilitation of 3 sanitary lift stations in Nimishillen and Plain Townships. Perry Township trustees are seeking applications for the position of administrator. According to the repository, the job will be advertised until it is filled. Salary will be based on experience. Joyce Martin is retiring at the end of the week. She was hired as an administrative assistant in 1999 and has been township administrator since 2008. A former Leetonia school bus driver and softball coach fired over allegations of misconduct involving students faces a count of voyeurism. The misdemeanor was filed today in Columbiana County Municipal Court against 49-year-old Scott Andre of Leetonia. He's accused of having inappropriate pictures of Leetonia 6th grade students and staff members on his phone. Andre was fired in February after an internal investigation determined he pursued recent graduates with inappropriate intentions, struck students on the hand with a ruler, and entered a locker room where a junior high student was changing. Norfolk Southern Railroad is again being sued in connection to the 2023 train derailment. The suit was filed by the East Palestine School District in Youngstown Federal Court. The school system is seeking the recovery of emergency response costs related to the derailment. The total is at least $30 million. Superintendent James Brooke and attorney Ashley K. Slitvold detailed the complaint during a news conference Wednesday. Officials accused Norfolk Southern of failing to reimburse incurred costs, including housing and transporting residents displaced by evacuation orders and use of school facilities by first responders. The railroad also allegedly didn't follow through on a promise to move and rebuild the district's athletic facilities and construct a community wellness center. Austintown police are investigating a shooting that sent a man to the hospital Wednesday night. Officers responded to an apartment on Compass West Drive around 8:10. They found the victim lying near a parking lot with a gunshot wound to his left leg. He was taken to a hospital. The alleged shooter, 20-year-old Isabella Rapucci, later turned herself in to Warren police. She claimed self-defense. Rapucci said she was earlier threatened at the complex by a man with a gun. She was arrested and charged with felonious assault, tampering with evidence, receiving stolen property, and 2 weapons charges. Police say the handgun was recovered along a bike path in Warren. The Trumbull County Grand Jury has indicted 8 women on charges of running a human trafficking ring. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost announced the 83-count indictment today. It alleges the defendants operated the Tiger Spa and Sunny Spa on West Market Street in Warren. Both are accused of being illegal fronts for sex trafficking and money laundering. The ring allegedly trapped Korean women at the establishments for 3 months at a time, forced them to live on the premises, and perform sex for money. The activity occurred over a period of more than 5 years. Charges include engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity, human trafficking, money laundering, and promoting prostitution. They stem from an investigation by the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force. Warrants were executed at the businesses in March 2023. Investigators executed another warrant today at Sunny Spa. It's 77 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. Mark Johnson's forecast is up next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Severe storms are possible during the afternoon and early evening hours today. Some of the storms damaging winds, large hail, a windy high of 79 degrees. Overnight, more widely scattered storms here and there with a low near 60. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5. This WDPN weather is brought to you by Canterbury Villa of Alliance, where your loved ones become family. Schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Got big dreams of a better career? Whether you're looking to learn new skills or level up in your current field, Ohio Means Jobs Star Contest for our counties is here to help you turn that daydream into your day job. We'll take care of your training costs so you can focus on building the skills you need for a brighter future in fields such as healthcare or skilled trades. Call us or visit our website at omjwork.com to learn more, because your future is closer than you think.
Are you ready to up your mealtime game with a beautiful new dining suite? How about your movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, 1310 WDPN, streaming live, AM1310WDPN.com. You can listen to us on the WDPN X page, the Facebook page. You can also watch the program each and every day between 3 and 6 on the Q92 Radio Facebook page. Sammy B here, Ryan Rainsberg across the glass here in Studio C on Smith Avenue in the beautiful Carnation City of Alliance, Ohio. Phone lines are open for you, 330-821-1310. You can text 330-536-1146. It is a 3-question Thursday. We'll get to those questions here in a minute. We got a lot of great response, tons of comments coming in over social media, or we'll read some of those. We are in our second rain delay up in Cleveland. Guardians and Twins 2-2 in the eighth inning, 2-2 in the eighth inning. And I guess, Ryan, there was, we got a text at the 330-536-1146 from our guy Keller. And what did he say about the umpire up at the game today?
Keller over here says, boy, the umpire did not want to go to another rain delay. You could barely see, and he still wanted to play.
Want to play. So apparently it was coming down like a monsoon, and they wanted to just keep playing. I have not pulled the game up on my phone. Oh, you know what? It's on the MLB network. So that takes me out right there. I'm out. I just got to watch. I got to watch the there goes our little banner. Just took a tumble behind us. We'll have to fix that during the break. So the game's on MLB TV, and I cannot get that on my phone. So I'm just kind of watching, what is this, Pitchcast or Statcast or something? Yeah. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. So 2-2, we're on a rain delay up in Cleveland, but I guess it was coming down in buckets. And apparently, I'm not sure who the umpire was, but he just keep playing, fellas. keep playing. We're gonna get this game in. We're not stopping. So thunderstorms right now, they've got the temperature marked at 74 up in Cleveland. Now, I just took a little walk when we walked out of the studio after the 3 o'clock hour, and it looks like here in Alliance, some storms could be coming. I just looked at the radar, and it's going to be a hit or it's going to be a miss. It might, but you look outside, and I peeked. I went out the door, and you know how sometimes you can tell by the way the wind's blowing and the direction of the leaves, and there happens to be like some high grass or whatever. You can almost feel it. You can like smell that the rain's coming. But I said, well, I better go back and look at the radar, make sure everything's going to be okay. And it looks like it might miss us here in Alliance. I'm not so sure. Maybe our friends in North Canton, maybe Green, maybe you may get hit here in a little while. But if something breaks, you'll hear it first here on 1310 WDPN. And if something really gets crazy, we might have a chance to check in with our guy Mark Johnson up at News 5 because he is all over it. All right, 3-question Thursday quiz today. We got a lot of great response. We'll get to some of those comments on our social media platforms. But the question number one, if you're just jumping in here in the 4 o'clock hour on WDPN, question number one, Cavs-Pacers Eastern Conference semifinals. Who wins the series and in how many games? Who wins the series? How many games does it take? Number two, Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Who's the odd man out at the beginning of the regular season? Who's got to go? A lot of folks are chiming in saying Pickett. Got a couple Flaccos, one Sanders, and a couple Dylan Gabriel. But I'm looking at the contracts during the break. Flacco's is a very team-friendly deal. It's a very high reward with incentives. So if you cut Joe, you're not going to really eat that much money. Sanders being the 5th round pick, you'd say, okay, no big deal, but it's Shedeur Sanders. If you missed it at the bottom of the last hour, Shedeur Sanders is the number 3 selling jersey in the NFL right now. He hasn't taken a snap, hasn't shown up for minicamp. It's nothing. He is the number 3 selling jersey. It's incredible. And then there's Gabriel, excuse me, the young man out of Oregon, who I'm still trying to figure out why that selection was made. I don't know. But if I had to bet, gosh, you know what? I would feel so bad if they cut Joe Flacco. So I'm going to make the mistake. I'm going to go with my heart instead of my head, and I'm going to say that Kenny Pickett could be the odd man out. Question number 3 on the 3-question Thursday. Where's the best place in Stark County to watch high school baseball? Who's got the coolest stadium, the coolest park? Maybe it's just in a great location, great sight lines, good bleachers, good concessions, good sound system. Where's the best place in Stark County to watch high school baseball? 330-821-1310. You can text at 330-536-1146.
All right. We got a text in that says, Pickett, Hoover Stadium, Cavs in 7. The Buck guy is hard to argue with when he is right. He could be the next Eddie Gosh.
Eddie Gosh. God rest
Gosh,
his.
my bad.
God,
I'm
that's
not
okay.
good with names.
God rest his soul.
I think we have one more from Keller, too. He said the head of the ground crew was yelling at the ump to call it.
No, and he still wouldn't do it.
No, apparently not. I mean, they did, obviously, at some point.
Yeah.
They had to
now I'm just intrigued because I haven't seen any video of that, what sounds to be like an incredible storm hovering over Progressive Field today. And now that I can't get the game on my phone because it's on MLB TV, now I'm I'm getting kind of angry.
I've got a sneaking suspicion that Keller might give us another highlight. If
He's probably gonna send a video.
He's hitting me with the updates over here.
He's probably gonna send an video. Hey, Keller, we appreciate you, man, doing yeoman's work there behind the scenes. But yeah, I would like to know what the heck. I mean, if you're an umpire, first of all, if it's a storm, and we're talking, thunder, lightning, all that crazy stuff, what are you doing out there letting the elements have a chance to cause trouble? I mean, what are you doing? I mean, all it takes is the one crazy, goofy, unlucky lightning strike, and it could be curtains for somebody. So I'm just kind of wondering why this particular umpire just said, no, go ahead. It looks like the end of the world, but go ahead and keep playing. We're going to get this game in. Plus, here's the other thing. First of all, it's a tie game. It's 2-2, okay? Third of all, the Minnesota Twins are going to come back to Cleveland later on in the season. It's a divisional game. They play each other 13 times, I believe. So, look, it's getaway day, first of all. Indians got to get to Toronto, which not a big deal. And I'm not sure where the Twins are going, but that's one of the reasons why they play these games on some Wednesdays, but mostly Thursdays, early in the afternoon, so these teams that have road trips, they can get out. And you're not traveling at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. You're going to get to your next destination at a reasonable hour and get ready to play the next day. So I'm not sure what was going on there with that umpire. Again, 3-question Thursday quiz, Cavs series predictions. How many games, who wins, Cleveland Browns quarterback room, who's the odd quarterback out, and where's the best place to watch high school baseball in Stark County. Reminder, we are going to be talking Mount Union Purple Raider baseball tomorrow around 3:35. The Hall of Fame skipper of the Mount Union Purple Raiders, Coach Paul Hesse, is going to join us on the program to talk about Mount Union. The Purple Raiders, I think, are playing Washington and Jefferson today. I don't know. I know it's on the road, and I don't know the weather situation over there, but hopefully they'll pick up a win. If they do, and they get back home, they'll be 27-8. How about that? And then a doubleheader, I believe, against Muskingum on the road Saturday. And then I think we get ready. Either they've got another road game, or very soon we'll be getting ready for the OAC baseball conference tournament. And if Mount can just stay where they're at, you probably don't want to leave anything to chance, so you probably want to sweep the Muskies on Saturday. That should give them the top spot in the OAC and give them home field advantage in the OAC Conference Baseball Tournament. That would be neat. And as I was kind of telling you about this yesterday, if you get a chance, again, the home season is over, but when they start that tournament up, and if the Raiders are going to be at home, and we hope that they are, if you get a chance to get over to Rayfield Rogers Field on the campus of Mount Union, go over there and check them out and root them on. I think they could make a little run. I think they could make a run in the OAC tournament. And if you win the OAC tournament, boom, you know what that means? You're going to the NCAA Division III baseball tournament. And that is pretty cool. Hey, I saw that John Vanderwall, the longtime Marietta basketball coach, he left. He went to Trine. He's going to coach Trine University now in Division III, who has got a really good program in hoops. I was surprised that Coach Vanderwall got up and left Marietta. Maybe he just wanted a different challenge, wanted to change the scenery, but he's going to be with Trine University now. So we won't be seeing Coach Vanderwall anymore when the Raiders and Marietta get together on the basketball court. So I thought that was That was a little bit intriguing there. We are coming up on about 23 minutes past the hour. We're going to step away, take a break here on the Sam Bourquin Show. We'll get you those phone numbers before we hit the break. 330-821-1310. Again, you can text the show anytime. We'd love to hear from you. 330-546-1136. We'll check out the comments more on the 3-Question Thursday quiz. We'll see if the Guardians and Twins are back at it up in Cleveland. And we'll get some more cool stuff going for you here on this Thursday afternoon. Stay with us, everybody. More to come on 1310 WDPN.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Beckett's amazing. He's a miracle child. In the mornings, he'll wake up and he'll roll the shades up and, Dada, it's time to get up. It's a bright, beautiful day.
He started getting dizzy. At the first of the year, he started going, I have to sit down. I'm dizzy, Mommy. A month after his 3rd birthday, he got diagnosed with ATRT brain cancer. All you can think of is, the kid's not going to live. The fact that St. Jude doesn't bill is a godsend. And the fact that we don't have to ask for help here makes things a lot easier to go through what we have to go through with Beckett. The fact that they are researching and they are saving these children, it's so important. We wouldn't be where we are without St. Jude, and in turn, we wouldn't be where we are without those people that have donated. They're the reason why my son's still alive.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? SafeStep walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back to the show as we've got you on this Thursday afternoon. Again, you can watch us anytime and check us out there. Video, audio, Q92 Radio, YouTube channel. Go ahead and pop that in there and we'll pop up and you can see me doing my thing here. Got my Crusader pullover on today and a Philadelphia Eagles cap. The greens almost match. That was the whole idea. Again, I'm not an Eagles fan by any stretch of the imagination, but thought I went with my my pullover. So tomorrow I think we're going to go polo shirt tomorrow and a different sports team hat. We'll figure it out. But as I said the other day, I've got to get some Mount Union swag. I got to get some gear, man. I mean, for the summer, for the fall, for the winter. Those of you that know me a little bit, you know I'm not big into wearing coats or jackets, no matter how cold it gets. But I'm going to tell you, there was some chilly walks last year from the Mac Center over at Mount Union back to the car. And I just had my purple Mount Golf shirt on. That was it. Nope. I said, nope, I'm not, no. But I got to get some Purple Raider gear. Nate, if you're listening, I know Coach Fuline would hook me up with something. So there's basketball. We got that taken care of. Coach Dart, I got to get some football gear. Okay, that's good. I'm going to put Coach Hesse on the spot tomorrow during our interview. I'll say, Coach, could you weasel me a hat or a Mount Union baseball shirt? So I'd be covered there. And then if those cries for help don't go noticed, then I'm going to have to go up the tree a little bit. I'm going to have to talk to Nate, Mr. P, Mike Parnell. Oh, I'm not afraid. When it comes to gear and swag, I want to be representing the team. So I got to get me some purple stuff. I got to get some stuff to represent the Raider Nation. Football season, by the way. I was looking at some high school football schedules a couple hours ago. And I flipped over and I'm looking at the Mount schedule. And, of course, with John Carroll leaving the OAC, little different setup now. Raiders are going to have 2 non-conference games every year. And most years, I think the first couple of years, it'll be 1 away, 1 home. So I know they're home the first game of the season. Then they go to, I want to say Grove City in Pennsylvania. And then I think we play a league game. Then there's a bye, and then we go the rest of the way. I could be wrong because it was a real quick glance at the Mount Union football schedule. Because I keep forgetting that John Carroll's not in the league anymore. I just don't think of that. So, yeah, it's going to be a little different now. Usually, heck, the last 10 years I've been doing games, or last 9 years, you start off with a non-conference game, then there's a bye, and then you go into conference, and you play the rest of the OAC the rest of the way. All right, we're going to take a break. Also, the numbers are in from the OHSAA as far as divisions and enrollment and where the teams are going to be for the upcoming high school football season. We'll get into that. We'll get your 3-question Thursday comments and a whole lot more. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. President Trump says he's nominating his national security advisor, Mike Waltz, to serve as United Nations ambassador in a major shakeup of his national security team. The president said that Secretary of State Marco Rubio will serve simultaneously as acting national security advisor while maintaining his role at the State Department. Trump announced the moves shortly after news broke that Waltz was departing the White House, just weeks after it was revealed that he added a journalist to a signal chat being used to discuss military plans. Illinois State Police gave an update today about the deadly crash into an after-school program in Chatham Monday that killed 4 people. The driver of the vehicle, 44-year-old Marianne Akers, was taken to a local hospital where she provided blood and urine samples. Illinois State Police Director Brendan Kelly says both have come back negative for drugs and alcohol, and the crash may have been caused by another factor.
Some evidence has been developed indicating the possibility of a medical emergency leading up to the crash. However, the investigation of this information and other evidence has not yet concluded and will continue.
No charges have been filed in the crash at this time, but an investigation is ongoing. The early effects of President Trump's tariffs on foreign goods are apparently starting to show in the labor market. ABC's Jim Ryan says weekly jobless claims unexpectedly jumped last week.
First-time filings for unemployment insurance surged by 18,000 in the week ending April 26th to a seasonally adjusted 241,000. The unemployment situation has remained fairly stable in 2025, despite troubling signs from other parts of the economy. Tomorrow, the broader jobless report for all of April comes out.
Harvey Weinstein's lawyers are getting their turn to question a woman who alleges the one-time Hollywood heavyweight held her down on a bed and forced himself on her nearly 20 years ago. Miriam Haley, testifying today for a third day at Weinstein's retrial, was grilled about her decision to hire a lawyer and go public with her allegations in October 2017. Defense attorney Jennifer Bonjean sparred with Haley over the details of her early statements, getting her to admit that back then she didn't give interviewers a full picture of their relationship. Weinstein has pleaded not guilty and denies sexually assaulting anyone. It's 77 degrees and Alliance at 432. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, we got a round of strong thunderstorms moving our way for the afternoon and early evening hours. Some of those storms with damaging winds and large hail. It's going to be windy today, a high near 79 degrees. Overnight, some widely scattered storms lingering with a low near 60. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease. Many don't even know it.
I just knew that I wasn't the high-performing person I used to be. Pieces of my past are being erased. I was lucky we caught this at the very earliest stages. I hope that my story can give other people hope. There is life to be lived. Increasingly, there will be treatments. We need to invest even more in research and finding treatments and cures.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program has invested more than $175 million in breakthrough research.
If your loved one or you yourself are sitting there thinking, something is wrong, I'm not who I used to be, you can get some answers and you can get them for free.
Call us at 1-855-345-6237 or visit us online at brightfocus.org/brainhealth to learn more.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we're back here inside Studio C on a cozy 76-degree day. No crazy storms over this way yet, but we will we'll let you know and keep you in touch with what's going on with the weather. Got a little muggy starting around 1 o'clock today, and you just had that feeling. We might be getting some. My grandparents used to say, we're going to be getting some boom booms. So you never know. If everything breaks, we'll have it for you here on 1310 WDPN. Of course, streaming live all over the world at AM1310WDPN.com. Okay, I finally got a chance to watch the video, the last 65 seconds before the umpire finally called the grounds crew out up at Progressive Field. Now, we're working on getting that audio because I want you to hear Matt Underwood and Rick Manning as they're trying to explain what in the name of heavens is going on because they did not stop that game. We're talking about the Guardians and the Twins. They're in a rain delay up in Cleveland right now, and it is still a 2-2 ball game between the Guards and Minnesota. This is the second rain delay of the day up at Progressive Field. And I'm telling you, I have seen sideways rain. I've seen just blustering winds with the rain coming down. And to see that video, I'm like, what is this umpire doing? The managers are screaming at him. The players are walking around with their hands up on the field saying, hey, call it. We can't see. We can't run. We can't throw. We can't do anything. He's like, nope, keep playing. And then another 40 seconds goes by, and then he calls the grounds crew out. But to hear Rick and Maddie describing it, again, I've got that video. I got the audio, and I've tried to transfer it over to Ryan, and we're trying to get that up here for you as soon as we can. But by the way, they're still in the bottom of the 7th inning in Cleveland. The Twins and Guardians are tied at 2. Quick trip around the major leagues. Boy, a lot of day baseball today, of course, it being the getaway day. Cubbies beat the Pirates 8-3. Royals blasted the Tampa Bay Rays 8-2. Arizona beat the Mets 4-2. That will not make Mike Popovich happy. And the White Sox beat the Brewers by the score of 8-0. Cavaliers and the Pacers, they will not play until Sunday. Now, here's the deal. If the Warriors and the Rockets go 7, the Cavs and Pacers will play at 6 o'clock on Sunday at Rocket Arena, 6 o'clock. If the Warriors and the Rockets don't go 7, then it's going to be an 8-10 tip-off up in Cleveland. So the Cavs are either going to play at 6 or they're going to play at 8-10 on Sunday, game 1 against the Pacers. Now, tonight, there are a couple of games, a couple of good ones. 7:30, the Knicks and the Pistons will get together in Detroit. And that series is 3-2 New York. Pistons are a 1.5-point favorite. Ooh, that's one of those sucker lines there. I don't know if I'd touch that. I like Detroit, but now that I've seen the line, I don't know if I'll go there. Clippers and the Nuggets tonight, 10 o'clock in L.A. The Nuggets lead the series 3-2. The Clippers are giving 6.5 to Denver. Oh, that tells me something. That tells me something. You might want to go with the Clips tonight. That's a pretty high number. Okay, I'm getting the okay from our producer, Ryan Rainsberg. I just want to kind of close your eyes here a little bit. Guardians, Twins. They're the Indians. I don't care. They're playing up in Cleveland today. Second rain delay is about to happen. It's 2-2, bottom of the 7th. Guardians are at bat. It is absolutely pouring. The wind is rippling. The manager, the players, everybody's waiting for the umpire to call the game and have the grounds crew come out. He won't do it. Let's pick it up here, the call, with Matty Underwood and Rick Manning.
Just missed low. It's 3-1. Boy behind the home plate wants to call it. He wants the turn call. Yeah, look at these guys. He's listening. Not real easy to see or execute now. Ball 4. And that's gonna be it. You gotta pull the kill now. Somebody's got to make a decision. Home plate umpire Andy Fletcher is the crew chief. It's in the ump's stance. He's going to let him play on. Yes, he is. Well, hey, he's in charge now. There it is. Okay, then they say bring it. So our second rain delay of the afternoon commences here in the 8th. With 2 on and 2 out. And a 2-2 game.
Fletcher. That's the guy. Andy Fletcher. It's the home plate umpire and the crew chief. You hear Matt and Rick saying, come on. How can they let this go on? And they finally brought the grounds crew out. Bottom of the 7th, Twins and the Guardians, 2-2. I bet my guy Andre Knott's having a good time today. Second rain delay of the day. And you don't know when it's going to end. They're still in the delay now. So much for getaway day. Usually a 1:10 first pitch. This game's been over now by about 25, 30 minutes. Guys are showered, changed. They got their traveling gear, and they're get on the plane and head up to Toronto. Now, all that goes by the wayside. Plus, you're in a tie game. So now the umpires are probably like, we'd really like to finish this thing today. And what if it goes extra innings? What if it's one of the, what I tell you last hour, you never know what you're going to see at a ballpark. We talked about that crazy thing that happened at Pittsburgh last night where that fan apparently was jumping onto the field from the upper deck last night. Scary stuff. Haven't heard his latest condition yet. Hopefully he is getting better. But you never know what you're going to see at a ballpark. Now watch today. You know the luck. It's getaway day. Both teams got to get to a new city. There's 2 rain delays. And now watch it be one of those 15, 16 inning games. Oh my gosh. That is the absolute worst thing. The worst thing that could happen. So we'll keep our eyes on the situation up in Cleveland. Again, the 2-2 game, and there is a weather delay up at Progressive Field, and the Guards will be heading to Toronto this weekend. Again, don't forget tomorrow we're going to talk Purple Raider baseball with head coach, Hall of Famer Paul Hesse at Mount Union. He'll be joining us tomorrow just a little bit after 3:30. They are at, I think, Washington and Jefferson today, and we'll try to get you, if they played, we'll try to get your final score before we leave you here at 6 o'clock. About 5:10 today, we're going to talk a little high school baseball. The skipper of the Marlington Dukes, head coach Cody Jones, is going to join us on the program. Weather permitting, Marlington and Alliance are getting ready for a little 2-game series. I believe they're going to go tomorrow and Saturday, and that's a big series coming up. The Dukes are 6-1 in the EBC. Alliance is 4-2. We're also reaching out to Coach Jeff Graffis, try to get him to come on the program. But Cody Jones from Marlington will join us. So you Duke fans want to be here a little bit after 5 here on 1310 WDPN. 3-Question Thursday. The comments continue to pour in on social media. Our 3 questions today. And we're going to do this every Thursday, by the way. Thus the 3-Question Thursday. Question number 1, Cavs Pacers. Who wins the series and how many games? Question 2, the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Who is going to be the odd man out? And question number 3, in Stark County, where's the best place to watch a high school baseball game? Getting some great responses, some great comments. I'm going to roll through these here in a couple of minutes and read some of those to you. But while we got a minute, I'm going to bring my main man in here, Ryan Rainsberg, who's across the glass, and we're going to let him take the 3-Question Thursday quiz. You all ready over there, partner?
Oh no!
Oh yeah! Here we go, folks. This ought to be riveting.
This is going to be fascinating because
my man is busy playing video games now, and I'm going to ask him sports questions. All right, Cavs Pacers. Who wins the series?
I'm rooting for the Cavs. I can hope for the Cavs. I could not give you any factual information towards that, but
don't need any. Just need to know who you're picking. How many games do you think it'll take?
I'm rooting for the Cavs. Hopefully, probably a 7-game. I have no idea. I have no information to base that on other than the fact that the Cavs sound like they're crushing it. So
okay. All right. We'll go with that. Question 2, the Cleveland Browns quarterback room of Sanders, Flacco, Gabriel, and Pickett. Who is going to be the odd man out?
Oh, no. Well, everybody keeps saying Pickett, so I guess I'll go Pickett because that would just be a straight guess on that one. If I'm being honest.
All right, here we go. Yeah. Question number 3. I know you've been to a ton of high school baseball games.
Oh yeah, lots of them, so many.
In Stark County, where's the best place to watch a Stark County baseball game? High school baseball. What's the best place to go?
Oh boy, I've only ever been to football and basketball games, so
you should just say Alliance.
Yeah, I will just say I guess I'll go whatever Mount Union's baseball stadium is called is probably the best one. Because I know Alliance High Schools, when I went there, we all kind of made fun of it. It was a little rundown.
Well, you should still go with your home school.
I should.
You should come on here. You should be raising your fist in the air. Alliance High School is the best place to watch high school baseball.
Okay,
you should just stick by. Have the Mike Hargrove used to say, you got to have the courage of your convictions.
That's good.
That's where you go right there.
15-year-old me did not have a lot of convictions about school spirit, so 30-year-old me is going to have to adjust a little bit.
That was convictions, right? Not
Yeah.
the other thing around. All right. Larry on Facebook. Cavaliers, well, another sweep. He says Joe Flacco is going to be the odd man out. Our good buddy Clint from the newsroom says unless he blows up at minicamp, he would see if he could get a draft pick or two for Dylan Gabriel. Whoa, okay. I had not thought of that. That's a very interesting answer. Rod says Cavaliers in 6. He says Dylan Gabriel is going to be the odd man out. He says, I don't know about baseball, but I do know that I love watching high school basketball at the Memorial Fieldhouse. 330-821-1310 if you want to take the 3-question quiz today, or just text your answers in on the text line here at 1310. Check that. I was just jumbled a bunch of numbers together for no apparent reason. The text line is open for you always at 330-356-1146. We are coming up on almost 10 minutes until the top of the hour. We will step away here on the Sam Bourquin Show. We'll come back. We'll take you right up to the top. We'll see if the Guardians are playing baseball again. We'll go back on the 3-question quiz. We'll kind of revisit the Bill Belichick and the young girlfriend situation. We'll talk a little NBA. And don't forget, Marlington Alliance High School Baseball. Big ball games coming up in the NBC tomorrow and Saturday. We'll check in with the skipper of the Dukes. That's manager Cody Jones coming up here a little bit after 5 o'clock. Right now, we'll step out. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on a Thursday afternoon right here on 1310 WDPN. Streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action in communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at Rotary.org/action.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
I want you to imagine for a moment you're in a hospital. You are the patient connected to an IV bag. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, endless pokes, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine experiencing all of these things and you're only a child. This is why Starlight exists, to bring happiness to hospitalized children through programs that help kids cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook. Programs like gaming, virtual reality headsets, toy deliveries, radio flyer wagons, and cozy hospital gowns are just a few of the ways Starlight eases a child's hospital stay. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And welcome back. Sam Bourquin Show. We've got about 8 minutes until we get to the top of the hour. All the national news, the regional news, of course, the local news with our good buddy Jeff Mears. We'll check in with Mark Johnson with the official weather, and then we'll come on back for one more big hour here on 1310 WDPN. Phone lines open. Oh, right away, I gotta correct myself. I don't know what I gave you the wrong text line, and I apologize. The text line gets you right in, whatever your comments are, 330-536-1146. I apologize. I've read that backwards the last hour or so. The text line, jot this down, 330-536-1146. So if you've been texting and we have not been reading them, well, I don't know where those texts were going. I apologize. But our text line here, 330-536-1146. Make sure you keep that number handy, and everyone you ever send a text off to us, that's the best way for you to go. All right, they are still waiting to play baseball up in Cleveland. It's the second rain delay of the day at Progressive Field. Bottom of the seventh inning, it's still the Guardians 2 and the Twins 2. So that's the latest up in Cleveland. Boy, what a horrible, messy weather day up on the North Coast today. You hate to have that happen, especially on a you're trying to get away. You want to actually, these getaway games, a lot of time they're like 2 hours. You know what I mean? It's the end of April, maybe early May as we are today. You got to get moving after the game. You got to go to your next destination. A lot of people are like, let's just get this game over with and get the heck out of town. Let's just get out. Not today. Long day up there in Cleveland. Rocky on the text line, he says the Cavaliers will win in 5. He says all 4 Browns quarterbacks, whoa. He says all 4 quarterbacks will be on the roster for game 1. He says Kenny Pickett will be traded before the trade deadline. His favorite place to watch high school baseball in Stark County at Louisville High School. Rocky, thank you for breaking off that text, and you can do it too at 330-536-1146. You can also watch the show, watch the big show here in the afternoon every day. If you got the opportunity to do so, we would love to have you. You can check us out live right now, live video, live audio on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. And of course, you want to go old school is always good school with me. You can listen right here on 1310 WDPN or on the live stream as well. Again, Cody Jones from Marlington coming up, talking some high school baseball with the Marlington Dukes. He'll be joining us at about 5:10 here this afternoon. I got a couple of text, not on the text line, but personal text from some folks that they said, I want you to go back and watch that video again from PNC Park last night. So I did. And this is about the gentleman out in right center field last night in the bottom of the 7th inning during the Pirates and the Cubs. McCutcheon hits a double, 2-run score. Pirates take a 4-3 lead over the Cubs. And you'll notice out in the top right center field of the upper deck there, you see this body falling to the ground. They said, go back and watch that again and see if you can tell if the guy actually kind of jumped on purpose or if he got up, he was excited. The Pirates were scoring runs to take the lead. Everybody in the park was going crazy. And he just got up out of his seat. He lost his balance and he toppled all the way down. It was over a 25-foot fall, I think. Because remember, the upper deck at PNC is not like your typical upper deck at a lot of stadiums, which is way, way up. If that would have been at most other stadiums, I don't want to tell you what would have happened. Okay. So I went back, I watched the video again during the break. I still can't tell. I still can't tell. I mean, you hope that doesn't happen either way. But then gosh, was the guy trying to, was he trying to jump and end everything? Or did he have, a little too much and he got caught up in the moment and he got all excited and he lost his balance and he went tumbling? It's hard to see. I got the video on my X page at Sam Bourquin 16. That's a little tough to watch, but the angle is taken so far away that you really, it could be a lot worse, put it that way. I was checking out Andre Knott, Guardians field reporter on Cleveland Guardians TV, and he's got a photo that he took from the Guardians dugout. You can tell the dugout almost looks flooded. And then he's in the big screen, or in the background, he is showing a picture of the big giant scoreboard, and they've got the radar across the state of Ohio. And up around Cleveland, Lake Erie, up there on the North Coast, it's nothing but green and orange and red and yellow. It's just nonstop rain. And then he captions it by saying, always on getaway day. And what did I just say about 10 minutes ago? It's usually when that happens, and it's the absolute worst. The absolute worst. Also, don't forget tomorrow, we are going to be previewing the Run for the Roses. Big Kentucky Derby's coming up at Churchill Downs on Saturday around 7 p.m. We're going to try to reach out to a couple of horse racing handicappers, if you will. So we'll be trying to, help you out if you're going to make a wager or two on Saturday with the Run for the Roses. So a little Kentucky Derby talk tomorrow as well here on 1310 WDPN. But looking at the rest of the weekend, I mean, my gosh, you got the Cavs and Pacers coming up on Sunday, either 6 or 8 o'clock. You've got the Kentucky Derby. You've got the Guardians and the Blue Jays. You got the other NBA playoff games. You've got potentially, and I say this potentially, how wild would this be? 5 Game 7s over this weekend for the NHL. You could have 5 Game 7s. That's wild. UFC is going to be in Des Moines. The Madrid Opens. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. So we'll be keeping track of all that. We'll talk about that with you on Monday. Local news, national, regional news, and your local weather forecast is all right around the corner. Keep it right here. One more big hour to go on the Sam Bourquin Show. Only on 1310 WDPN. Stream it live at 1310WDPN.com, and you can watch it live right now on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump in a social media post announced he's nominating Mike Walls as the next U.S. ambassador to the UN. He was serving as national security advisor, and it also comes in the wake of the Signal app chat controversy for Walls. The president says Secretary of State Marco Rubio will also serve as national security advisor. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce leading a briefing when the president posted the news and learned about the cabinet changes in real time from a reporter. She called it unsurprising.
These last 100 days, it's like hanging on to a freaking bullet train.
Walls must still be confirmed by the Senate. A search is on in South Carolina, police say, after a man rammed his car into people outside a preschool on Sullivan Island, injuring at least 3 people. Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs rejected the government's offer to plead guilty today to avoid a long prison sentence and his trial on racketeering and sex trafficking charges. His trial with jury selection begins Monday. This is ABC News.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes. Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text SKINNY to 323232 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text SKINNY to 323232 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text SKINNY to 323232. That's SKINNY to 323232. SKINNY to 323232.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 7 p.m. this evening for an area including Stark, Carroll, Columbiana, Mahoning, Portage, Summit, and Tuscarawas counties. Thunderstorms are likely this afternoon and evening. A few could be severe and contain damaging wind gusts, particularly along and east of the I-71 corridor. An embedded tornado or two and isolated instances of large hail cannot be ruled out. Mark Johnson has the complete forecast coming up. Progress is being made to restore power to areas of eastern Ohio affected by Tuesday's thunderstorms. As of 2:30 this afternoon, AEP says nearly 1,800 customers are without service in Jefferson County, more than 1,300 in Harrison, nearly 300 in Columbiana, and more than 500 in Tuscarawas. First Energy reported fewer outages in Ohio, but crews are dealing with nearly 91,000 in western Pennsylvania and almost 5,000 in the West Virginia Panhandle. A Canton police officer fired after kicking a man in the chest during an August 2024 arrest has been reinstated. Brandon Mamarov returned to work April 11th. An arbitrator previously determined the city did not meet the justification standards to terminate him. Safety Service Director Andrea Perry fired Mamarov in September after finding he violated the department's use of force rule. He was one of the officers who responded to a fight near an apartment complex on Morris Avenue Northeast. Body cam video showed Mamarov kick a suspect who was kneeling while another officer held him at gunpoint. The repository reports the arbitrator agreed with the police union, who said the termination was too severe. The decision cannot be appealed. The Stark County grand jury has indicted a man on charges stemming from a drive-by shooting in Alliance. 19-year-old Aiden Mohammed of Alliance was charged Wednesday with felonious assault, improperly discharging a firearm into a habitation or a school safety zone, and having weapons while under disability. They resulted from a February 7th incident in the first block of East Ely Street. Mohammed is accused of shooting at an occupied home at least 4 times while driving a vehicle. He was arrested last month at a hotel in Greene. Mohammed is not permitted to have a gun due to a felonious assault conviction last year. His arraignment is set for tomorrow in common pleas court. A vehicle versus pedestrian accident in North Canton is under investigation. Police were called to the intersection of 7th Street Northeast and North Main Street around 9:45 Tuesday morning. A preliminary investigation shows a city vehicle was westbound on 7th and making a left turn onto North Main when it struck a pedestrian. The victim was taken to a local hospital, then transferred to another hospital for further treatment. Their condition was not available. The Canton Regional Crash Team is investigating the incident. Stark County Commissioners have approved an agreement with the cities of Alliance, Canton, and Massillon to house inmates at the county jail. Under a resolution passed Wednesday, the rate will be $131.65 per day per prisoner. The one-year agreement is retroactive to March 1st. Commissioners also approved a professional services agreement with Verdantis to perform design work for replacement of the Easton Street Bridge. The cost will not exceed $278,680. It will be paid for with the county's motor vehicle fund. A new administrator is needed in Perry Township. Joyce Martin will retire at the end of the week. She was hired as an administrative assistant in 1999 and has been township administrator since 2008. According to the repository, trustees are seeking applications for the job, which will be advertised until it is filled. Salary will be based on experience. Akron Canton Airport is adding another nonstop flight. Starting October 6th, American Airlines will operate 2 nonstop flights a day to Chicago O'Hare Airport. Departure times are 6:45 a.m. and 5:20 p.m. Arrivals at CAK are 2 p.m. and 7:05 p.m. Tickets will be available Monday online or through the American Airlines app. American Airlines also operates nonstop service from CAK to Charlotte and Reagan Washington National Airport. A misdemeanor voyeurism charge has been filed against a former Leetonia school bus driver and softball coach. 49-year-old Scott Andre of Leetonia was fired in February after an internal investigation concluded he pursued recent graduates with inappropriate intentions, struck students on the hand with a ruler, and entered a locker room where a junior high student was changing. The charge was filed today. Andre is accused of having inappropriate pictures of Leetonia 6th grade students and staff members on his phone. The East Palestine School District is seeking at least $30 million in its lawsuit against Norfolk Southern Railroad. The school system filed the suit in Youngstown Federal Court. Superintendent James Brooke and attorney Ashley Case Sletvold outlined the complaint during a news conference Wednesday. The suit alleges Norfolk Southern failed to reimburse costs incurred due to the 2023 train derailment, such as housing and transporting residents displaced by evacuation orders and use of school facilities by first responders. Railroad also is accused of not following through on a promise to move and rebuild the district's athletic facilities and construct a community wellness center. A woman is jailed on charges stemming from a shooting at an apartment in Austintown. 20-year-old Isabella Rapucci was arrested after she turned herself in to warn police following the Wednesday night incident. She claimed self-defense in the shooting at the Compass West Drive address. Rapucci said she was earlier threatened there by a man with a gun. Police were called to the location around 8:10. They discovered a man with a gunshot wound to his left leg lying near a parking lot. He was taken to a hospital. Police say the handgun was recovered along a bike path in Warren. Rapucci was charged with felonious assault, tampering with evidence, receiving stolen property, and 2 weapons counts. An 83-count indictment issued by the Trumbull County Grand Jury accuses 8 women of operating a human trafficking ring. The charges include engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity, human trafficking, money laundering, and promoting prostitution. They resulted from an investigation by the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force. Warrants were executed at the Tiger Spa and Sunny Spa in Warren in March 2023. Investigators executed another warrant today at Sunny Spa. The West Market Street establishments are accused of being illegal fronts for sex trafficking and money laundering. The ring allegedly trapped Korean women at the businesses for 3 months at a time, forced them to live on the premises, and perform sex for money. The activity occurred over a period of more than 5 years. A maker of products including Huggies, Kleenex, and Cottonelle has announced plans for a new facility in Trumbull County. Kimberly-Clark will build an $800 million manufacturing facility in Warren, Howland, and Warren townships. The Dallas-based company expects it will create 491 new jobs. The project was approved today by Kimberly-Clark's board of directors. The Ohio Tax Credit Authority approved a 10-year Ohio Job Creation Tax Credit earlier this week. The roughly 1 million square foot facility will be the company's first in Ohio. Construction is expected to begin this month with completion by 2027. The Ohio Senate unanimously passed a bill Wednesday to regulate intoxicating hemp. Senate Bill 86 would take the products off the shelves of vape stores, convenience stores, and gas stations. The measure defines intoxicating hemp as any product containing more than a half milligram of Delta-9 THC per serving or 2 milligrams per package. Governor Mike DeWine has urged the legislature to ban the products. Ohio lawmakers introduced a bill last year to completely ban the sale, but it did not make it through. Instead of banning intoxicating hemp, it moves the sale of the product to existing marijuana dispensaries only. Intoxicating hemp beverages can only be sold in stores that have a liquor license. The bill now heads to the Ohio House for consideration. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 40,752, up 84 points. The Nasdaq Composite ended the day 264 points higher at 17,710, and the S&P 500 closed at 5,604, up 35 points. It's 77 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Thundery weather on and off during the afternoon and early evening hours today. Some of those storms could be severe. Look for a high, windy 79 degrees. Overnight, more widely scattered lingering storms with a low of 60. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And we are ready to roll the 5 o'clock hour on this Thursday afternoon. Welcome back. Sam Bourquin with you. 1310 WDPN. You can listen to us on the WDPN Facebook page, X page. You can also watch on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Welcome in, everybody. How about that beautiful 1310 WDPN banner? If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, how sweet does that look? Look at that. Nice and clean. Looking good. Looking good. Good job by the staff here to come up with that idea. That was awesome. Good job. All right, phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. If you want to text the show, fire away at 330-536-1146. Momentarily, we will be joined by Cody Jones. He is the head baseball coach of the Marlington Dukes. They got a big 2-game set coming up with their rival Alliance Aviators coming up here the next couple of days. We'll see what the Dukes are up to. It's also a 3-question Thursday. Question number 1, Cavs Pacers. Who wins the series? How many games does it take? Question 2, Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Who is the odd man out come opening week? And question number 3, where's the best place to watch high school baseball in Stark County? Those are your questions on a 3-question Thursday. You can hit us up on X. You can hit us up on the Facebook page on AM 1310 WDPN. Give us a shout, and we'll read those comments and get your comments on the air as well. Okay, a couple of quick things before we talk a little Marlington Dukes baseball. Number 1, still in a delay in Cleveland. 7th inning, bottom of the 7th. The Guardians and the Twins are tied at 2. Locally, I was able to go outside for a couple of minutes during the news break here in the top of the 5 o'clock hour. And we are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and Canton, Maslin, Alliance, we're all in that area. Now, right now, it's pretty humid. No rain over in Alliance right now, but the wind is whipping up a little bit, and it looks like we could have some weather. So if anything crazy happens, we'll let you know here on 1310 WDPN. If something really gets crazy, our good friend from the newsroom, Jeff Mears, I'm sure will pop in and let us know what is going on. I'll tell you what's going on. We got a good race going now in the EBC, the Eastern Buckeye Conference, as far as area high school baseball is concerned. The Marlington Dukes, Alliance Aviators are battling tooth and nail. They'll get a chance to go after each other here beginning tomorrow and Saturday, a little 2-game set that may decide things in the old EBC. We thought we'd talk a little Marlington hardball today and bring on the head coach, Cody Jones of the Marlington Dukes, to 1310 WDPN here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Coach Cody, how you doing this afternoon?
Mr. Bourquin, thank you very much.
Good to hear from you. I was looking here. We finished up the show yesterday, and I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna talk a little area baseball. I'm looking at the schedules, and I was like, okay, it looks like at least one of the teams is going to be off tomorrow. And so I'm thinking, well, maybe practice. I'll reach out and see if we can grab. And we were able to get you. Before we go any further, your baseball squad this year, what were the expectations coming in? How many, lettermen, how many seniors did you have coming back, guys with experience? And who were you kind of hanging your hat on early here during the baseball season?
Yeah, sure. So we lost 5 seniors from last year's team, and but we knew that, with losing those 5 seniors, we still had another group of 5 seniors this year. We thought it was going to be 6, but we had one young man that is going on to play college football, and he decided to run track this year, which 100% we support that. So we went down from 6 seniors to 5 seniors, but we knew that those 5 seniors, were all returning lettermen. It was, Sam Yoder, Dylan Hetherington, Travis Hoffmeyer, Tatum Hoffman, and Garrett Dillon. So we knew we had 5 guys that were returning varsity lettermen, returning starters. And we knew that with having Sam and Dylan on the mound, that we were going to be in pretty much any game that they were pitching. So we knew coming into the season that we were going to be able to pitch it. We obviously, going to practice what we can to make sure that, we play good defense behind them. And then the unknown and kind of what's, been I guess you could say kind of a historical struggle, at least since I've been the head coach, is, we've struggled to score runs and put up offensive numbers. But that's kind of come to fruition this year. But we've actually been, hitting the ball well the last few weeks, I would say. So our pitching's been there, and we're playing good defense behind those guys, and actually doing a good job of putting the ball in play as well.
Well, that's a good recipe to have. Cody Jones is our guest. He is the manager, the skipper, if you will, the Marlington Dukes. Now, Coach Cody, I got you at 11-5 and 7-1 in the league, correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And you've got Alliance coming up for a couple. How many games did you guys get backed up due to weather? And are you going to be able to make those up, or how's that working out for you?
So we've only lost 2 so far. Thankfully, my assistant coaches do a great job of helping us take care of the field. And we've got some, the kids obviously will do anything they can to get the field ready to play. So we lost a game earlier in the year with field, and we lost one with Norway. So we've only lost 2 games on our schedule that we've had scheduled so far. And I don't know if we're going to make up the game with field, but I think we're going to try to get that game with Norway back on the schedule, just because they're a team from out of the area, but they're really good. And Coach Joe Gilmore, who was an assistant at Waynedale for a few years, is now the head guy out at Norway. And I know Joe, just from being around baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to try to get that one back on the schedule for later in the year, probably after the tournament draw, though.
Very good. So I was looking at your schedule and some of your wins. You got a nice win over Perry, a shutout win against United. You got a sweep over West Branch, if you will. You knocked them off a couple of times.
Sure.
Crestview, Minerva. You got some nice wins, and you got some big games coming up down the road. We don't want to look too much ahead, but you got Glen Oak coming up. Obviously, you got Alliance. Looks like you got Central Catholic, Louisville. So some big games coming up, and hopefully you can get all those in. If this team starts really humming in some of those areas that we talked about, how far do you think they can go this year?
Before last year, I would say, that we would be a district title contender. But I have to be honest, watching the run that West Branch went on last year,
mm-hmm.
when they basically, used 2 pitchers for the duration of their tournament run, with Bo Alazos and Anthony Perry, and then a little bit of Aaron Tucker sprinkled in there as well whenever they needed him. We've got 2 guys at the top of our rotation with, Sam Yoder and Dylan Hetherington that we think can do the same thing. Dylan has pitched, I want to say, I know at least 2, if not 3 of his last starts have all been complete games. Sam has a couple complete games. We were against Salem on Tuesday. He was at 98 pitches through 6 innings. And, if it was close, we probably would have left him in and he could have went out and got the job done for us. But we had a 9-2 lead going into the 7th. So we put a freshman on the mound, and he went out and eventually got the job done for us. So we feel with those 2 guys, on the mound, if we play good baseball, I would like to say, we can take a carbon copy or take a cut out of what West Branch did last year. And, those guys are good enough to keep us competitive with anybody in this area and anybody in the state, we feel. So I think it's a team that, playing well and get a few breaks, we could be playing in Akron.
Very good. Hey, nothing wrong with that. We are joined by Cody Jones, the manager of the Marlington Dukes baseball team, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. You can also watch us live on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. You talked about Sam and Dylan. What do they do best as far as pitching on the mound? Do they get the ball up there quick? Are they off-speed pitchers? Are they good at good location? What do they do best?
They throw strikes, Sam.
They throw strikes. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't care what level it is, major league, college, all the way down to little league. If your pitcher throws strikes, you're going to have a chance. And I think, both Sam and Dylan, they are our goal as a team, as a pitching staff. We want 2 walks or less per 7 innings,
mm-hmm.
and they pretty much do that almost every time out. And I have to say, I've mentioned those 2, but we also had a third pitcher. We had a transfer from Glen Oak this year. He was a junior. His name was Brock Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And he really, kind of solidified our rotation as our 3-man. He actually threw a 9-inning complete game that we beat Carrollton, who we're actually tied for the league lead with them. We're 1 game ahead because we got a game in on Tuesday, so we're at 7-1. They're at 6-1. But he threw a 9-inning complete game against them at our place that we ended up winning in 9 innings. So he really, did a good job of solidifying our rotation early. And I think that's given our guys the confidence that we could be a really good team. But to go back to really answer your question, Sam and Dylan both throw strikes. Sam's probably, mid-80s with his fastball. can throw a slider for a strike in any count. Can also throw a little tighter slider when he needs to get a swing and miss. And then, Dylan, he's a lefty, so that's always, a plus. And he just moves the ball around, throws a lot of strikes, can throw multiple pitches for strikes as well. He's got a nice slider, 2-seam, 4-seam slider curveball combination. And, with any one of those guys on the mound, we'll take our chances.
Cody, is there a young man on the baseball team that's maybe surprised you a little bit with maybe the rise he has made through the program, maybe last year or this year?
Yeah, so there's actually quite a couple of them. One of them is Landon Hawthorne. So we had Landon's older brother, Dylan, last year. He was a senior.
Okay.
And Landon is a sophomore this year. And he, I don't say this in a negative way, but Landon will say he's undersized. Landon's about 5'4", 5'5", but he has just been a competitor, and he's Dylan's hitting over 400, but we've got a handful of guys that are right around the 300. And for a while there, Landon was hitting over 350. But it seemed like any game we had, West Branch, Carrollton, this week against against Salem, he's the guy that's came up in the clutch spots, and it hasn't always been, the line drive double to the gap, but it's been a single here, an infield single there, and whatever it is, he's gotten the job done. So Landon's done a great job for us, and he's kind of been all over the place. We thought he was going to be our second baseman coming into the year, but that ended up changing, and he's kind of played left field for us. He's played right field for us. He's also played, a little bit of center field as well. No, I take that back. He hasn't played center field, but he's played left and right and done a really good job for us.
Very good. Cody Jones, our guest here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. The Marlington Dukes playing some really good baseball right now, 11-5, 7-1 in the league. You got your rivals coming up here, the Alliance Aviators, who are playing some pretty good ball as well. Maybe a little quick scouting report on the Aviators, who you will face a couple of times the next couple of days.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'd say that I'd be lying if, we don't look. I preach to our kids all the time, playing one pitch at a time.
Oh, yeah.
And, not looking ahead. But as a coach, as a staff, we've got to do our job. I think it's been the last 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, Sam, that we've went into the last week of the season with a chance to either tie or, win the league. And we just haven't been able to get it done against Alliance. For whatever reason, they've kind of just dominated our league and done a really good job the last few years. Sorry, I'm out in the middle of the storm.
I was just going to say, you sound like you're in the second making of The Wizard of Oz.
I was trying to get the dogs out for a quick walk. Man.
Oh, my God. Be careful.
The storm. I'm trying to sit under a tree by my neighbor's house. But no, anyway, Alliance, they play good baseball. Jeff does a good job over there.
Mm-hmm.
And, his guys, they pitch it well. They usually, when they play good defense, they give themselves a chance, and they usually do enough offensively to be in the game as well.
All right. One more before you go. Man, I don't want you to get hurt out there. Okay. Thursdays, we have the 3-question Thursday quiz. You ready to take it?
Sure.
Okay. First question, Cavs-Pacers. Who wins the series and how many games?
Cavs in 6.
Cavs in 6. Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Who is the odd man out in September?
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. All right. Now, I didn't plan this way, but this is just how it came out. Third question today. Where's the best place in Stark County to watch a high school baseball game?
Stark County?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say probably the new facility at North Canton Hoover.
New facility at North Canton. All right, Cody. Hey, get safe. Get those dogs. Get back in the house. Thanks for joining us today, and good luck against the Alliance, and we'll catch up with you here down the road, okay?
All right, Sam. Thank you very much, sir.
You go. There he goes. Oh, my God, he's out there chasing dogs in the wind,
Have a good
in the rain. Thanks, Cody. Thank you.
We'll see you.
Okay, bud. Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt him and ask him what he was doing or where he was, but I noticed he was kind of huffing and out of breath, and I could hear wind. Now, I didn't hear any dogs barking or anything, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to ask. Well, we found out. He's out in the storm on an interview, which he's nice enough to do. Wind, rain, thunder, chasing dogs, and he did a heck of a job. Cody, thumbs up. We appreciate the time, and good luck to you and the Marlington Dukes the rest of the way.
Yeah, we
Wow.
had a
that gets a thumbs up for me. That's good stuff right there, Cody.
I said we had a text come in from Keller that says the storm's hitting North Canton now, so that sounds about right.
Yeah, so it's it could be. Last I looked at the radar about 60 seconds ago, man, we're right there, and it's either we're either going to get it or we're not. But if it's doing it upward North Canton, maybe it'll miss us and go a little bit to the north. I know our good buddy Doug Edwards had just texted me a little while ago. He says it was raining so hard in Perry that all the solar lights were coming on. It was dark and it was just pounding rain. Now North Canton's getting it. We'll see if something happens here in Alliance over the next half hour or 45 minutes. But thanks to Cody Jones, the Marlington baseball manager, for checking here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. We did reach out to Coach Graffis, didn't hear back. Maybe we can catch up with Coach here before the end of the regular season, maybe, and before the Aviators get into tournament play. It is still raining up in Cleveland. It's a 2-2 tie in the bottom of the seventh inning, the Guardians and the Twins. By the way, if you're interested in what was going on with the pitching today, Ben Lively went 5 2/3, gave up 5 hits, no runs, struck out 2. Jacob Junis, 2/3, gave up 3 hits and 2 runs, not good there. Then Hunter Gaddis comes in. He gives up a couple of hits in 2/3 of an inning, no runs. And then Joey Cantillo was on the bump in the seventh inning, and that's when all heck broke loose with the rain, and now the Guards and the Twins are still in a rain delay up in Cleveland. Phone lines are open if you want to pop in, 330-821-1310. If you want to text the program, we welcome that as well, 330-536-1146. Tomorrow, 3:35, we'll talk Mount Union baseball. The Purple Raiders are rolling under the Hall of Fame skipper, Paul Hesse. Excuse me. We'll talk to Coach tomorrow at 3:35 right here on 1310 WDPN. John Bazika sends me a text and says it is absolutely pouring in Louisville over by St. Thomas Aquinas. So, John, be careful. And thanks for the update here on the show. All right. News, weather, all the good stuff is coming your way at the bottom of the hour. And we'll come back and finish up strong with the last 25 minutes or so right here on the Sam Bourquin Get Together right here. 1310 WDPN. Stay with us, everybody.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. President Trump is making changes to his cabinet. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has details.
President Trump announcing on social media that Mike Waltz is no longer his national security advisor, and he will now be nominating him to serve as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. The move comes as President Trump has been increasingly frustrated by Waltz after Waltz came under intense scrutiny for inadvertently adding a reporter to a Signal group chat. Waltz needs Senate confirmation to serve as UN ambassador. President Trump said in the interim, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will add National Security Advisor to his portfolio. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
A federal judge has barred the Trump administration from deporting any Venezuelans from South Texas under an 18th century wartime law and say Trump's invocation of that law was unlawful. Judge Fernando Rodriguez is the first judge to rule that the Alien Enemies Act cannot be used against people whom the administration claims are gang members invading the U.S. In March, President Trump issued a proclamation claiming that the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua was invading the U.S. He said he had special powers to deport immigrants identified by his administration as gang members without the usual court proceedings. At least 2 people have been killed in flash flooding in Oklahoma with strong storms pushing through the region. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Z says more storms are expected today.
Today, the elevated risk of flash flooding still centers itself right along the Red River, and Pittsburgh. That's because this low pressure system and the attending warm and cold fronts approach. So everyone from Nashville to Lexington up through Columbus, Ohio, and Cincinnati, Toledo too, you are on alert for damaging winds.
A new Pentagon report says that the number of sexual assaults reported across the military fell by nearly 4% last year, and there was a significant decline in the Army. It's the second year in a row with a decrease. That reverses a troubling trend that's plagued the Defense Department for more than a decade. There were nearly 8,200 reported sexual assaults last year involving members of the military, compared with more than 8,500 the previous year. Defense officials say that while the decline is a good sign, the number of reported assaults are still too high, and the military needs to do more to get victims to report the often undisclosed crime. It's 76 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Severe storms are possible during the afternoon and early evening hours today. Some of the storms damaging winds, large hail, a windy high of 79 degrees. Overnight, more widely scattered storms here and there with a low near 60. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Beckett's amazing. He's a miracle child. In the mornings, he'll wake up and he'll roll the shades up and, Dada, it's time to get up. It's a bright, beautiful day.
He started getting dizzy. At the first of the year, he started going, I have to sit down, I'm dizzy, Mommy. A month after his 3rd birthday, he got diagnosed with ATRT brain cancer. All you can think of is, the kid's not going to live. The fact that St. Jude doesn't bill is a godsend. And the fact that we don't have to ask for help here makes things a lot easier to go through what we have to go through with Beckett. The fact that they are researching and they are saving these children, it's so important. We wouldn't be where we are without St. Jude, and in turn, we wouldn't be where we are without those people that have donated. They're the reason why my son's still alive.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
With love, I will build a wonderful thing that makes this life better. For you and for me.
For 100 years and counting, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been creating wonderful opportunities for children in need. This life-changing medical care helps them do the things they've always dreamed of.
Shriners Hospitals for Children has done so much for me and so many other kids.
I can dance.
I can play games with my friends.
Because of Shriners Hospitals for Children, I have no limits, and I'm doing more than what I ever thought possible.
To find out more about how children in need are being helped every day, go to loveshriners.org today.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And welcome back. All right. It is absolutely pouring outside the studios of 1310 WDPN here in Alliance. I mean, it is coming down in buckets, and it's very windy. Got really dark. So the studio we are in, there are no windows. So we're kind of cut off from the outside world, so to speak, unless we, during the break, go out in the lobby or maybe go outside. So our news guru, Jeff Mears, says, yeah, it is absolutely pouring. So if you are out and about today, please be careful and make sure that you get from A to B safely. We don't want anything, of course, to happen to you. Be careful if you're out and about. And I understand the warning got extended a little bit by another hour or so. So if you're out and about, please be careful, whether you're in Alliance, North Canton, Perry, Massillon, Warren, wherever you're at, please be careful if the weather's getting a little crazy like it is right now. I got to tell you, I started here on Monday. Now, I have been out to the studios before, usually to do some maybe dropping off or picking up of equipment for Mount Union basketball or football or what have you. And I was only out here maybe 3 or 4 times in the last 9 or 10 years. And it was usually late at night. We were doing the equipment swap or whatever. It was like 11 midnight, and then I would go home. So I really wasn't aware of how it was around the building. I cannot believe the amount of land that is here. Like we're on Smith Avenue, off of Beeson, which you catch off of 62, and you've got the AM 1310, of course, Q92. We're all in the same building, and I think there's a garage here, I believe, yes, for the van and the station van and the station car. And there is, I don't know, what's the acreage? I mean, there is just gobs of land out here. And it's really kind of peaceful and serene. Now, not today because of the storm, but I'm thinking, gosh, there might be a Sunday I just might come out here with a lawn chair and you just sit in the sun and listen to the radio. I mean, it's beautiful out here. I just can't get over the amount of land that is out here. But then, of course, my mind started spinning, going, hey, all this land out here. We could maybe build a little stadium out here. Maybe have the AM play the FM on a flag football game or something. Then I thought about maybe, you could do maybe like a Top Golf, right? Build a little golf facility out here. I think DP would go for that. Then I thought, well, no, you could maybe do a little Field of Dreams here. If you build it, they will come. Build a little baseball park out here. My mind was just going 100 miles an hour with all the land, all the stuff we could do. And then I came to a conclusion. I said, nah, we're not building a flag football stadium. No, we're not going to build like a Top Golf. No, we're not going to do Field of Dreams. We're going to build a casino and a horse track. That's what I want to do. How well do you think that'll go over with the boss? Hey, can I talk to you about an idea that I had? Sure, come on in. What do you want to talk about? Possible show ideas, maybe some hot topics, working in some different. No, I want to build a casino on your property. And I want to build a horse track. Are you good with that? Is that okay? Can we get the go ahead? I can just see how that would go over. I don't know if he'd kick me out of the office or he would just laugh so hard that the door would open and I would walk out. I'm not sure. But, man, it is beautiful out here. I never got to see it until it was daylight. And, coming out here this week, it's my first week here at the station, and have had an absolute blast. Got to meet everybody. I think I know everybody now between the AM and FM. Part-time, full-time, weekday, weekend folks. And, man, what a blessing this has been. I am so thankful to be out here now going full-time and looking forward to bringing you some great shows here as we we're kind of working our way through here the first week. We'll be adding a lot of elements. We'll be adding a lot of interviews. We'll be adding some music clips. We'll be doing a lot of fun stuff coming up here. Of course, we'll always have the 3-question Thursday. I got the good word from the boss today that maybe soon we'll be having some ticket giveaways on the program. So we're certainly looking forward to that. We'll be doing some stuff with the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And then high school football will be here before you know it. Pro Football Hall of Fame activities before that. And then we'll roll into, Mount Union football, Mount Union basketball, and we'll be doing high school basketball over on the Q92 FM on Tuesdays and Friday nights. Looking forward to that. We got a lot of cool stuff planned and so many great people working here. I usually make fun of the Browns because of everything is a collaboration kind of deal. And we know at the end of the day that Jimmy calls all the shots, but over here, there's a lot of cool collaborating going on. And I like that. I think that's really important, whether it's for the AM, the FM, or cross-promoting both stations, social media ideas, getting out to different venues. I think it's really cool the way that things go here. And again, just blessed and very thankful to be a part of the family, and hopefully be here for quite a while. Actually, I think I want this to be the last stop. I think so. I think plant the flag over here in the Carnation City and ride it out. I think that would be good. Boy, but you never know. This business is crazy. Even if you're not in the business, it's just changed. Radio, TV, social media, TikTok, quick video clips, audio clips, interviews. It's just like everything is just like, but still. And I've said this for a long, long time, and I don't mean to give you all a tutorial on radio. But at the end of the day, radio still wins. It's still there. It's always going to be there. We've heard some horror stories about certain car manufacturers not putting AM radios in their vehicles. And some haven't, but a lot of them still do. There's nothing like the radio. There's nothing like listening to a baseball game on the radio. Whether you're in the car, you're at home, you're in the office, or maybe you're really old school and you take a little radio to the game or listen to the game on your phone. Maybe you got an earbud in while you're at the ballpark. You just remember, radio is always going to be there, and it's always going to win. Yeah, I know streaming is cool and video is cool, and I get it. It's 2025. I understand it. But there's something still you got to treasure about what radio means, what radio has been, and what radio will continue to be. I grew up as a huge sports fan, and a lot of the sports that I consume now on television couldn't do back then. No cable, no ESPN. I'm talking ESPN didn't come in until 79, I believe. Yeah, I'm probably dating myself here a little bit, but that's all right. And a lot of the teams didn't put a lot of their games on television. They just didn't have the wherewithal to do it. The television stations, the networks, the sports networks, they weren't out there like they are now. You were lucky to get the Cleveland Indians 8 to 10 times a year back then. And that was usually on Channel 8 on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. And then Channel 43 came into the fold, and you could start picking up maybe 30, 35 games. They would do a couple of home games, mostly away games. Now, people flip their lid if you can't get the Indians or the Guardians on TV. I think out of 162, I think 159, you can watch them. But guess who's always there? The radio. The radio is always there to tuck you in at night if you want to listen to a game on the West Coast. It's there to brighten your day in the morning, get you information, make you laugh a little bit. Maybe you're having a down day. Maybe you're having a rough start to your morning, and somebody says something that just makes you belly laugh, and all your problems go away for a little bit. That's the beauty of it. A lot of it is theater of the mind. People used to go, "Oh, radio, smoke and mirrors." Now, it's theater of the mind. It's what you want to make of it, what you want to take out of it. That person that's coming through the speaker in your car, your radio at home, or your Alexa, your phone, your computer, they're a companion. They're a companion, whether they're giving you breaking news, maybe there's some bad weather, they're trying to keep you safe. Maybe they tell a joke, or there's funny banter going on between a couple of hosts. They brighten your day. They make your day better. They're there. It was like Johnny Carson back in the day. As long as you knew Carson was on, it was good. The night was good. You knew, even if you didn't turn on Channel 3 at 11:30 after the news, you knew Johnny was on with Ed McMahon. And the world slept peacefully. That's just kind of the way it was. And kind of the same deal with radio. Baseball, I don't think there's a better marriage than baseball on the radio. And we're spoiled around here. Spoiled with Tom Hamilton. We were spoiled with Herb Score. We were spoiled with Joe Tate. They were our companion during the day, during the night. Whether it was an 8 o'clock first pitch or a 11 o'clock first pitch on the West Coast. And remember, I'm going way back here. Remember, folks, Major League Baseball games in the Eastern time zone started at 8 o'clock at night. Now we're starting games at 6:10. Back in the day, the first pitch wasn't until 8 o'clock. And that was during the week. No wonder nobody went up to Municipal Stadium in April and May, 8 o'clock at night. You freeze your fanny off there. But there's something unique, almost romantic about it. And Lord willing, we know we're all going to be here for a while, and we'll be able to entertain and inform and just, it's a pleasure to be a part of your day. A pleasure to be a part of your day. Whether we're broadcasting sports, or hosting a talk show, taking a phone call, or whether you're calling in to win something, there's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. And again, I just want to get that out there of how grateful and appreciative I am to be given this opportunity to spend time with you 3 until 6, Monday through Friday here on 1310 WDPN. I've been a radio guy my whole life. My dad listened to it. My dad listened to sports. My mom listened to music. My grandparents, usually the older music. But man, when Paul Harvey came on, the world stopped. 15 minutes every day. I think it was noon to 12:15. And they would sit there. They would hang on Paul Harvey's every word. Every word. And then, you'd go through the day, and then the Tribe would come on at nighttime, or you listen to the Brownies on Sunday afternoon. And the Cavaliers would come in. They didn't start even playing basketball until 1970. And the great Joe Tate. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man. One of the best to ever do it as far as calling basketball. And the weeks and the days and the months and the years go by, but you never forgot about that. You never forgot about it. 330-821-1310 is our telephone number. You can text us as well, 330-536-1146. Again, the 3-question Thursday quiz, your questions today. Love to hear from you before we get to break. Cavs Pacers, what's your series prediction? How many games? I guess that's a double. Really, it's a 4-question today. I apologize. I snuck one in on you. Question number 2, Cleveland Browns quarterback room. Who is the odd man out come the beginning of the NFL season? Who do you think is not going to be there? And question 3, in Stark County, where's the best place to watch a high school baseball game? That's the 3-question Thursday quiz here on 1310 WDPN. The Sam Bourquin Show continues after the break. Stay with us, everybody. More to come.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/the reason to get started.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back, everybody. The Sam Bourquin Show continues on, it's been another wild weather Thursday. Jeff Mears has just popped in the studio from the WDPN newsroom, and he reports that it is starting to relax outside a little bit. I guess it was coming down in buckets for a while. Now, I guess it's still pretty dark outside, but the rain has kind of subsided a little bit, and hopefully this will be it for the day. So you may have some scattered stuff throughout the night. Tomorrow looks decent, and then Saturday looks like absolute crap. It really does. 57, 90% chance of rain. Yeah. And Sunday doesn't look much better. So I'm thinking, April showers bring May flowers. Well, it's May 1st. So I'm not going for that. Unbelievable. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to talk Mount Union Purple Raider baseball with the skipper. The Hall of Famer Paul Hesse will join us at 3:35 tomorrow. We are going to get you ready for the Run for the Roses, the Kentucky Derby. It's coming up Saturday down in Churchill Downs. We'll break down the Derby tomorrow and try to put a little jingle in your pocket over the weekend. How's that sound? We'll get you caught up with the NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball, the Tribe. The Tribe did it again. I've called them the Indians twice today, and I just called them the Tribe. You know what? I don't care. I don't care.
I think the Tribe is probably okay.
Is that okay? Rainsburg says the Tribe is okay. What do you say, Jeffrey? Good? You good with that? All right.
Jeff seems to agree. I think we're all on the same page here, gentlemen.
Yeah, so we got Cleveland and Toronto coming up this weekend. Cavaliers and Pacers, don't forget, game one is either going to be Sunday at 6 p.m. or Sunday at 8:10 p.m., depending on what happens with Golden State and the Houston Rockets. So a big weekend coming up, and hopefully this weather will start to turn. Our high school spring sports athletes can get out there and do their thing. Track and field, softball, baseball. What else is going on this time of year? Lacrosse. Lacrosse is going on. So best of luck to all the schools and the student athletes this weekend as they get out there and do their thing in their spring sports. And boy, pretty soon, tournament drawings are going to be coming up for softball and baseball. And the tournament will take place, and we'll see if we can get a couple teams maybe to Akron for the OHSAA State Baseball Championships. Softball, again, will be at Firestone up in Akron. Maybe we get Stark County, we talk a lot about football, and rightly so. And, of course, the great run in basketball in the county last year where Louisville and Perry both went to the state tournament in Dayton, both went to the championship games. We play some good baseball and softball around here, too. Just kind of gets overshadowed a little bit. And, our spring sports, the sport of lacrosse, is growing leaps and bounds. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about lacrosse. I watched it a little bit on TV. Like I know what Johns Hopkins is like one of the premier universities as far as college lacrosse is concerned. I know Duke is pretty good. I know Notre Dame is pretty good. I just ripped off 3 teams, didn't even know it. So yeah, but this time of year is pretty fun. But the spring sports in the county, really good. We got some great track and field athletes, people setting records in the sprints and the discus and the shot put. Remember years and years and years and years and years ago, over at, I think it was Glenwood then, or maybe it was Oakwood, Dan Deerdorf set the record for the, I think it was the shot put, stood forever. And then Dan Minoki from Canton Central Catholic actually broke that record. And we lost Dan not long ago. just tragically there. But I mean, it's not just a football county. Yes, it's I guess you'd call it the breadwinner. It's the big one. But we do real well with our spring sports here too. So if you can get out and about and support your school and support the student athletes, I'm sure they would love for you to show up and get behind them. In the meantime, I want to invite everybody to check out our AM 1310 WDPN Facebook page. Make sure you like and follow and share. We just crossed the 1,000 follower mark earlier today. So when you're on your social media platform, Facebook, give us a like, give us a share. AM 1310 WDPN. Same deal with the Q92 radio page and the Q92 radio sports page. We'd love to interact with you there as well. And of course, on X, AM 1310 WDPN and at Q92 and at Q92 Sports on X. We got Instagram. Am I missing anything? We got the YouTube channel. Do we do Threads?
No, not yet. No, I'll get on that for you.
What is Threads? Is that
no, we want to use Blue Sky. Threads not so good. Blue Sky good. That's
okay.
what I'm hearing.
I have no idea what you are just talking about over there.
Right?
What in the hell is Blue Sky?
Blue Sky is Twitter 2.0 as far as I know. It's created by the original creator of Twitter.
Okay. And what's Threads?
Threads is Twitter created by Facebook.
So just ripping each other off.
Yes, that's what they all do nowadays.
Okay. That's what I thought.
That's just
get a hold of that Zuckerberg. I'm going to tell him a thing or two. Okay. I just wanted, because I think that we do a great job social media here with the big ones. Okay. Facebook, X, Instagram, and the YouTube channel. I think we do a fantastic job there. But who knows? 5-10 years from now, there'll be so many other outlets and avenues on social media, you won't be able to keep up with them. Or they'll be banned. Or threatened to be banned, but they won't go away. I tell you, I never thought I would be a TikTok guy. I am. I don't post a lot on TikTok, but you know what? You get to be 55, your attention span goes. So those 10, 12, 15-second little clips, I'm good. Just keep scrolling. Sports highlight. Somebody's cooking an omelet on a bridge. Somebody's being chased by a deer. Somebody falls on the porch delivering DoorDash. I mean, it's funny. It's good stuff. You guys laugh at me. My attention span is gone.
I think mine's getting longer with age. It's very bizarre. So much more patience as I get older.
Not me.
I guess I haven't hit the turning point yet where you gain all the patience and then you start losing it again, maybe.
I've done some, like yesterday I went down to down the road to the convenience store. Circle K, I'll call it. And I drove down there. It's only about not even a mile from here. And I told this story yesterday. I don't know if you heard this, Jeff, but I went in and I picked up a pizza out of the warmer. I got a bag of chips and a drink. There was about 7 people in line. I'm like, oh, God. I finally get up to the counter, put my stuff on the counter. That'll be $10.58. Oh, God. No wallet, no money. Had to put everything back, drive back to the station, got my wallet, drove back down. Pizza was gone. Sold. Out of here. Tough luck, Sammy B. All right, you hear Phil in the background. That means it is time to say goodbye. Thanks for joining us today, all the emailers, texters, people watching on all the social media platforms. We will do it all again tomorrow. Hey, special shout out to Marlington baseball coach Cody Jones for doing the interview when he was running in a storm, chasing dogs in his backyard today.
Absolutely.
Cody, thank you for sticking it out. We appreciate it. Guardians are still in a rain delay. We'll talk about all that tomorrow.
Actually, Keller just texted in and said they are back underway.
They're back underway. Good. I can catch that when we get out. Sounds good. Folks, have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. 1310 WDPN.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Tomorrow, the Trump administration is tightening a so-called trading loophole. ABC's Selena Wang says it will